Time now for Ankeny Centennial High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is the state's premier source for high school sports streaming.
He's got an open sideline. 20, 10, 5, and that is a Jaguar touchdown.
Ankeny Centennial football is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, Central Bank. Now let's go to our CISN.TV crew for Ankeny Centennial High School football.
Hey everybody, it's a beautiful Friday night for high school football. It is the last of the preseason games before district play begins in Class 4A. And tonight at Ankeny Stadium, we got a barn burner coming your way. Hello everybody, Paul Yeager along with Tim Halber. Jeff Brooks will be along with us in just a little bit. Tonight, Tim, is a game featuring the 6-time defending champs. These guys were in elementary school playing for Dowling the last time they didn't win a championship. The only two teams that Dowling has lost to in the last couple of years is West Des Moines Valley and Centennial.
And Centennial's hoping it will happen again tonight. But, yeah, we're looking at two premier teams in the state of Iowa. They're both ranked like the top 6, top 7, depends where you're going to rank them. So this is kind of a bellwether game. As Coach Pizzetti said, you don't win championships in September, you win them in November. But it still is kind of tells you where's your barometer right now this point of the season.
The most important thing for these 4A coaches is to win your district, and then it's hope things go well outside of your district and all your other games. And, oh, by the way, try to stay healthy. Tonight, Centennial will still be without the services of Avery Gates, but they get back Brady Peterson on the offensive line.
Yeah, that big tackle is the big anchor up there. He's going to lead the way. Then, Tyler's done a good job of running the ball. Both of these teams run the ball very well with backup running backs. So that kind of gives you a testament how good the offensive lines are. So I imagine it's going to happen again tonight.
Tyler Johnson last week in triple digits for yards. It's going to be hard for him tonight against a Dowling defense that is just the only word to really describe it, salty.
The linebacking crew, the leading tacklers are all 4 linebackers. They get off on the line quite well. They get off their blocks. They're smaller in stature, but they're extremely quick. They do get to the holes. But Coach was worried about how well it's Centennial. They keep grinding, and usually in the fourth quarter, something starts breaking. They do wear you down.
Coach Tom Wilson's been around the block. It's his 27th season, 15th at Dowling Catholic. He has an operation, a juggernaut, and it doesn't really matter who he plugs in at quarterback. Good things happen. They either have receivers to throw the ball to or a running back. Tonight, Hank Hemrick just has to turn around. He's got 2 great options, Tegan Johnson and this kid who's going to be a future Iowa Hawkeye, Gavin Williams. Everybody's talking about Gavin, but let's not look past Tegan Johnson.
No, this is a guy that's averaging 31 carries a game, 179 yards, almost 6 yards a carry, and he's the backup. So I would start with him. I think we're going to see Gavin maybe about 10 carries. Maybe he's healthier. It depends what kind of football shape he's in, but we're going to see him a little bit tonight.
Hard to prepare when you haven't seen a 2 offensive running back system. The Maroons will run somewhere. They try to get between 60 and 70 plays. They had 73 last week in their win against Johnson. They'd like to do the same again tonight, but Dowling is going to have to try to figure out a way to stop that offense. That not quite a trickery, but deception's a key part of the Jaguar scheme.
Even though as much film over the years that Dowling has on Centennial, it still is that misdirection. You don't know who's going to get the ball. A good running quarterback, because sometimes that lane really opens up. So tonight it'll be on the quarterbacks to see how well they can run their offenses and try to find a big play that gets the touchdown.
Last year's game at Valley Stadium between these two teams was incredibly good. Went down to almost the last play of the ball game. It was Avery Gates who had the big carry in that ball game. No Gates tonight, as we mentioned off the top, but it's still 2 good teams that are just really locked up and really looking here on homecoming night. We haven't even really discussed it, didn't even bring it up with the coaches, but that's a distraction in its own mind.
A little bit for Centennial. I think these players are kind of dialed in. They know who they're going to play tonight. This is a bellwether game. It's going to draw a big audience tonight, both live and on the internet. So I think they want to kind of finish this up and kind of go in and stay healthy.
Yeah.
Let's see what big plays come up tonight.
We've talked about some big names, but we're now going to talk to the coaches and let them tell you about what's happening. We will talk with Ryan Pizzetti, the co-head coach, and also Tom Wilson, the head man at Dowling Catholic. So our pregame show just getting started here. We'll come at your way at the top of the hour for kickoff, but we've got all sorts of festivities. So if you know somebody in the homecoming court, we'll show them to you in just a little bit. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Set it up, lock and load. Here we go. We're watching high school football on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here.
Hey,
welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot, thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Back here on the pregame show, Paul Yeager with co-head coach Ryan Pizzetti. Coach, tonight, last of these tune-up games before the district, but it's no tune-up. This is a big matchup for you.
It really is. Anytime you play Dowling, you know you're going to be measured at where you're at, offense, defensively, special teams. We're excited for it. We do have some new faces in the lineup, some new guys playing some new positions due to some injuries. But we feel that we're ready and we want to see where we stand.
So you're still looking at Avery Gates on the sideline, but hopefully Brady Peterson comes back in. What is he offensively? Why is he so important on the line?
You know what? Being a senior leader on the team, being a 2-year starter, he's a real special kid. Kids look up to him. Now we have a little bit more depth in the offensive line than we did a week ago.
High quality beef doesn't have to.
Back here on the pregame show, Paul Yeager with co-head coach Ryan Pizzetti. Coach, tonight, last of these tune-up games before the district, but it's no tune-up. This is a big matchup for you.
It really is. Anytime you play Dowling, you know you're going to be measured at where you're at, offense, defensively, special teams. We're excited for it. We do have some new faces in the lineup, some new guys playing some new positions due to some injuries. But we feel that we're ready and we want to see where we stand.
So you're still looking at Avery Gates on the sideline, but hopefully Brady Peterson comes back in. What is he offensively? Why is he so important on the line?
You know what? Being a senior leader on the team, being a 2-year starter. He's a real special kid. Kids look up to him. Now we have a little bit more depth in the offensive line than we did a week ago. He's needed, and we're excited to have him back.
So you have to move Cal Miller, who you've already moved once. Just keep moving him down the line. How did he grade out for you when you looked at him on tape?
You know what? Cal's a great kid. Very special kid. Comes from a great family. We know deep down he wants to be a tight end, and we understand that and respect that. But for us to be the football team we want to be, we need him in the interior 5. We do too many formations that we don't use a tight end, and to see him on the sideline, that's not the best thing for our football team right now.
All right, Hayes last week really looked like he felt a little more comfortable running the ball. There were some of those plays you called as specific running plays. What's the progression you're working with him as he tries to get ready for each game?
You know what? Being 3 games in with Hayes, he is a talent. We're doing a better job protecting the quarterback. He's a really good runner. I don't know if his statistics reflect that just because of the sacks that he took the first game and the second game. But as the year goes on, I think people will realize he is a dual threat quarterback and a very good leader.
Tyler Johnson came out big for you, too. It looked like he found those cutback lanes. I'm guessing that's one of those things your opponent tonight might try to take out. But how is he seeing the field?
You know what? Tyler's a great kid, a great athlete, multi-sport athlete, plays baseball, runs track, does a lot of different things. And that reflects on the football field, just his athleticism. He is filling in for Avey right now. We did have to switch positions with him, and doing a great job.
Defensively, you do have a couple of changes there, a couple of guys in new spots, but your defense is going to have to be come up big for you again tonight. This is a team that runs a lot of plays. They like to hurry things up, not just get to the line, they go.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in the Johnson game, they had nearly 70 plays of offense, and to stress our defense like that, that's going to be a challenge. We do have a couple new starters on defense. Jackie Wells went from the offensive side to the defensive side, and Kean Valentine is now starting both ways. So he's going to be our field corner. So we're excited for those changes and see where that puts us here going forward.
Kean gives you a little more height at that position?
Well, you know, Tate Williams broke his hand last week just on a little fluke play, and he was the next guy that the defensive back coaches wanted to look at. So we're going to see how he goes, and he's got good speed, good athleticism, and I think he'll do a nice job.
Keys tonight for you are?
You know what? We need to control the ball to a certain point, and I know they're going to do the same thing. If we can't control the ball, get first downs, flip the field when we get a possession, it's going to be tough for us, but we feel that we can do some things.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
We're back with the kickoff in just a couple of minutes. You're watching high school football on CISN.TV.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender, and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
Homecoming court. Let's meet Sophie Bergen. Sophie is the daughter of Angela and Travis Bergen. Now let's meet Ashlyn Sherwood. Ashlyn is the daughter of Amy and Adam Sherwood. Introducing JC Hall. JC is the daughter of Shannon and Toby Hall. Now let's meet Elise Wilson. Elise is the daughter of Kathleen and John Wilson. And your 2019 Ankeny Centennial Jaguar homecoming queen, Celeste Cox. Celeste is the daughter of Deanna and Darren Cox. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Keaton Gray, son of Jim and Kristen Gray. Please meet Creighton Faree. He is the son of Mark and Sarah Faree. Let me introduce you to Avery Gates, son of Gina and Phil Gates. Next, Jaden Cooper, son of John and Karen Cooper. And a warm round of applause for our 2019 homecoming king, Lucas Pieper, son of John and Sandy Pieper. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for the 2019 homecoming royalty, Ankeny Centennial High School.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Back here on the pregame show, Paul Yeager with head Dowling football coach Tom Wilson. And Coach, tonight, last of these non-district games, but as I asked Coach Pizzetti, this is anything but a light tune-up for either one of you.
Oh, that's for sure, and should be a great game. Obviously, district play is really important, but I think both of us get a chance to see kind of where our teams are at right now, but we'll have to wait and see and then get ready for district play. But first, this one.
This is a team that has had your number. There's only 2 teams that have had your number. That's a really small club they're in. How much, I think I asked you earlier in the week, how much do you look at what they've done in the past versus, we know personnel changes, but what do you look at? I know you're always doing self-study. How have you looked at those past games?
Well, really, it's tendency driven, and what we have done, what they have done, things that have worked for us, things that have worked for them. And you're right, every team is different. Sometimes they focus on certain strengths, and other times we do. And so I think you look at your entire body of work through the years and see what you feel is going to work or has a chance, but you also have to look at personnel and things like that, and I think each of us have to work to our strengths when it's all said and done. We can try and X and O all we want, but at the end of the day it's about players and giving them a chance to be successful.
Speaking of personnel, there's one guy I know everybody wants to know about, Gavin Williams, but there's been other injuries that you're hoping to get back tonight too.
Yeah, we've had our share. I know Centennial, I think they've had theirs as well, and it's like I've told our kids and our coaches, really nobody cares. They're just going to open up the paper or watch the Blitz or whatever on Friday night and figure out what the score was. They really don't want to know all the specifics. But at the end of the day, you just have to put guys in and get ready to play and certainly do the best you can.
All right, your guys tonight, offensively, a lot of snaps. I think you had about 70 snaps is what I hear from last week. That's important to you, and I would imagine it's again tonight.
Well, it is, but I think the thing that was disappointing last week was only 17 points to go with those 72 snaps or whatever it was. And, the 40-second clock has made a difference really for us. I think there were some thoughts that may decrease snaps, but it still comes down to your style of play. And, you mentioned Gavin and having him back and being able to take that many snaps certainly could work to our advantage.
Tegan Johnson, he has been an unsung hero. He has done absolutely everything you want for your team, but he's not the first guy. I know you could give me a list of 12 different guys that have done this over the years. What's so important about your program that you're able to produce a guy like Tegan?
Well, Tegan's really done it for 4 years and done everything that we've asked him to do. And, last year we knew he was a good running back, but he was basically behind Jason Murray. And then when we needed Tegan most, he came through. But even before that, we'd moved him around and he'd come up with some big plays. And honestly, for the first 3 weeks, he's carried our offense. I really don't say that lightly because there's not many kids that can average over 30 carries a ball game and still be upright. And he just comes back and is ready for more. So just really happy for him, proud of him of what he's done. And, I really don't want his yardage to decrease. I just want him to do it now with lesser carries.
Defensively, who do you have to have as keys tonight for you?
Well, we have to be able to hang in at the line of scrimmage, so obviously your D-line becomes really, really important. Our linebackers, our secondary, they have their keys, and all it takes is one breakdown and you're in trouble. So I think that's what their offense does to you. They obviously run it very efficiently, and there's times where we've had success against it, and there's times where we've looked foolish. So it's going to be a matter of consistency and everybody doing their job.
And these games with Centennial, usually the ones in the regular season, they go down to the very end. You got to play 4 quarters.
Well, you do, and last year it was a close ball game. We have a long touchdown called back, and we had a chance to take control and didn't. And so we've got to finish, and that was a concern of mine last week against Johnston, who's a good defensive team, but we just didn't have we had a chance to finish them off and then didn't do it, and we get the fumble and whatnot. So finishing our work is really, really important.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Head Coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. Your kickoff is coming your way next year on CISN.TV. Back here on the pregame show.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Back here at Ankeny Stadium, Paul Yeager, Tim Halber, and Jeff Brooks here as we get you ready for Centennial and Dowling Catholic. We are just minutes away from kickoff, and we've had the anthem, we've had the homecoming court. Now we just need a couple of football teams. It is a warm night for late September. Currently 84 degrees, feels like 90, but down on the field, it's only 70% relative humidity, Jeff Brooks. That wind, though, what's the story with the wind tonight? Oh, Jeff. Here, hold on.
No, that's on me.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
In fact, I just turned it on to see if you guys were going. No, yeah, the wind might be a little bit of a factor, but it's dying a little bit right now, too, as the sun's setting. I'm sure things are calming down. It is a great night for football. let's keep an eye on some cramping issues like we've had in the past few weeks. See if the boys can manage this heat tonight.
The Maroons just came onto the field, Jeff, to your left. They are 2-1 on the season, but they have some incredible players year in, year out, 6-time in a row state champs, and they want 7. That's the one thing with winning. You win once, okay, you win 6 times. You want to win 7. What'd you see in warm-ups from them?
Yeah, I saw Gavin Williams. He looked like he was out there running around pretty good, so I expect him to give it a go tonight. Did see some of the key notes that you guys had scratched on your list. We're in street clothes or we're not looking like they were going to play. So, but they look good. They looked, they're big boys out here. So Centennial better bring it tonight too.
All right, Jeff Brooks down on our sideline. We'll have him throughout the night. Tim Halber, as you hear, you and I were both on the field just a little bit ago, and already that wind has died down. The sun kind of peeking out around. We're only going to get into the mid-70s by the end of this game. Conditioning is going to be a factor.
Yes, it feels like it's the end of August football game out there. It's a little warm. The humidity's up. The one thing we noticed when you have those warm games that a lot of players leave in the second half with cramping. I wonder if tonight, if they're hydrated better after a few games under a belt, that they won't have that problem like they had before. But yeah, it's a little. The breeze has died down. I know his punts coming out of the south end zone did get quite a bit of loft down there, so the kicking game could be a factor. The breeze just stays as it is.
Well, the Centennial Jaguars are about to come onto the field. They were winners last week on this same diamond, or on this same field, and now we have the game ball that has been run, and we'll learn a little bit more about this boys cross-country team here coming up at halftime. And those runners running in that game ball, and that is a special event. And like I said, we'll hear more about that coming up at halftime. So tonight, here come the Jaguars onto the field. The Jaguars are 3-0. They have run a clean slate so far. They beat Ankeny 17-14 the opener, won at Urbandale 41-21, and then last week they beat Waterloo West 21-13. So Tim Halber, if you are the Centennial Jaguars, what do you think you got to do to win tonight? What are your keys?
As my 3 keys for the game today, I look at the defense. How will the defense respond? Because both of these teams are premier running teams. They pass a little bit when they need to, but they both run the ball very well. So you noticed before, with backup running backs, they're leading the league. The second is I'm looking for the quarterback play. Both of these quarterbacks are really are first-year starters in their respective. They don't have a full season under their belts. I'm looking for which quarterback can step forward, play a little bit crisper, maybe make a big play. And the third thing, this has always been a close game. I look at is going to be a special teams play, either a big return, a punt, maybe a miscue or a field goal at the end. But I think a special teams play is going to be a deciding factor at the end of this game.
And the Maroons are 2-1, wins over Waukee, lost to Valley 29-22, and then won last week a home game against Johnston 17-7. One thing, Coach Wilson, you heard him say, we just haven't quite been able to put everything together, but when they have this 2-back system, Gavin Williams, Tegan Johnson, that is something that's not been on tape for Centennial to look at. With Gavin, Centennial knows Gavin Williams when he played at Southeast Polk. They know what type of running back. They just don't know how he's going to be in this system. From what I've heard inside the camp off of Buffalo Road, he is hit an entire gear, a next level. One of the reasons he's headed to play Division I football.
Yes, plus he's a year older than we saw him last year. It's a big difference in these young men's life. The workout regime. Coach said that he is a hard worker. He's been diligent. He's been a great guy to work with. Watching him warm up here earlier on, he was doing some kickoff returns. He's got that little pop when he runs. He's got another gear out there, so it could be fun to see how he warms up. I think 10 carries. Now watch that. He'll get 20 carries tonight. Make me wrong.
He'll make us all look a little silly, but they're getting ready for their Kid Captain event, and down there at midfield that you can see with our camera, that is a new thing that they have done here at Centennial this year. Our official tonight, Brad Bunting, is calling out to both sides. Centennial won the toss and deferred to the second half, and the Jaguars will receive the opening kickoff. tonight. Brad Bunting, Jason Higgins, Casey Farley, Dirk Lashansky, and Anthony Meyer are your men in stripes tonight. So we will see the Centennial offense. So, of course, I'm going to tell you about the Centennial defense first. Up front, Jaden Cooper, Jackie Wells, who has moved over from offense to defense, Ethan Frazier, Lucas Pieper up front. Kean Valentine will play one corner tonight, as he is in the place of Tate Williams, who broke his hand. Keaton Gray, the other, but you'll also see some other guys as the night goes on. Nathan Ranke, Logan Niels, and Desmond Vaughn at linebacker. Nick Shirley and Jackson Huber back deep. For the offense of the Maroons, which we'll see very soon here, Charlie Lank, Joe Ryan, Nolan Sinnott, Jake Olson, and Ryan Bowles up front. Andrew Letch is the tight end. Josh Jackman is the flanker. Gavin Williams, Tegan Johnson, the running backs. Matt Stillwell, the split end. And Hank Himrick is the quarterback. So, the Maroons here will kick off. And they will go from right to left. Their kicker tonight
is like Jonathan Gonzalez.
Already throwing us a loop there. Yep. Jonathan Gonzalez will tee it up. Back deep for the Jaguars, Dylan D'Angelo and Nick Shirley. The Maroons tonight in their maroon pants with white stripe, and the opposite on the top with the white jersey and maroon numbers. The Jaguars, all black uniforms, white numbers, but they're going with the white pants with the maroon stripe and black stripe instead of the all black look tonight. We're ready to kick it off. Let's play some high school football. 7 o'clock in Ankeny, Iowa, and we are underway. Week 4 of the high school season. Nick Shirley sees it go over his shoulder, and that'll be a touchback. The offense for Centennial, Cal Miller at the other tackle as Brady Peterson is back in. Nate Howe and Noah Parley are the guards, and Trey Morris is the center. Dylan D'Angelo, Mark Liola, the two wide receivers with Tyler Johnson and Michael Witt, along with Hayes Gibson at quarterback. The Maroons sent out Jackson Filer, Jalen Pettis, Theo Davis, and Russell Pearson up front. Chris Owsley, Nayante Gerke, and Jack Meyer at the linebackers, along with Michael Keogh, Austin Klein, Adam Brosh, and Owen Schultz back deep. 1st and 10 from the 20. And the Jaguars, let's see what offense they can drum up tonight. They're going to go to the air right away first. The out and up. They go deep. D'Angelo's got the guy beat. Complete. And it's into Maroon territory. You kind of thought that's what they were going to do, Tim, and first pass play.
Yeah, good blocking out front to give Gibson a little bit of time. D'Angelo's kind of a little quick little out and up. Corner bid on it. He had about a 2-yard step on him. Nice pass, nice catch. Big play. That's what you're looking for in your quarterback here in his 4th start.
Gain of 35 yards to open the contest. That will change things a little bit as the guy got beat. Coaches a look. They send Shirley in motion. They go back. Johnson, he spins around one, and then he stood up in a hurry. Gerke was there along with Chris Owsley. You know they're going to be watching Johnson. It's all about the cutbacks. He had incredible success last week in those lanes.
Yes, he did. Also looking at Nick Shirley there. You're looking for him on the end around. Then last week, Gibson had some wide open lanes, when he did that quarterback keeper.
Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 48, 11.5 to play. The one thing that's different in this offense is the motion. No motion on that play. They go Johnson off right tackle. He's got some room. He's across the 40 inside near the 35-yard line before Owsley and also Broush in there for Brock, the tackle.
Power in there, Carter Kessler getting out there, getting a good block on the end to kind of free up a little bit of space there for Tyler.
3rd and 1. Jaguars need to get to the 35. In motion, Johnson. They go Shirley, hard yard, spins, and he's going to be short. He was initially grabbed on the legs there by Jalen Pettis. And he's still a full yard short.
Yeah, Russell Peterson got in there, got the gap, got him around the waist a little bit, just slowing him up and let his friends come and help him get the tackle.
What do you do here now? You've struggled to move the ball on the ground. You're in 4-down territory.
I'd see which side Peterson's lined up on might be your option.
I don't know if a hard snap count works in this, but Gibson might keep it himself. A hard snap count does. Fumble! And it's going to be recovered by the Jaguars, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be well short of the first down. First turnover of the game is a turnover on downs.
Yes. Looks like a player moved, but he didn't jump, hit the neutral zone, so there was no flags out there. A couple times we've seen this season where the exchange there, we talked about footwork with the quarterback, kind of losing the footing and dropping the ball on the ground. So a mistake you can't have throughout this game, not against a team like Dowling.
Brady Peterson and the offensive line come back. They'll have a seat. They'll try to figure out what just happened. Maroons will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Hank Hemrick in the gun sends Gavin Williams out. They're going to go to him on the swing, and it's too far forward. Incomplete. One of the ways you like to get a guy back into the game, I believe the term, Tim, is lather up, is get him the ball on a swing.
Can you lather up a running back? I know the linemen get all lathered up. That's but the running. You got to watch that play. The pass was a little flat. It's almost a lateral. So if they're going to do that and incomplete, something that the defense has to watch for is that it can be a live ball.
Hank Hemrick, the great arm right fielder for the Maroons, which went to the state baseball tournament this year. Hemrick will roll and keep, and he is going to be stood up right there. Jaden Cooper. Also coming in to help out was Keaton Gray. Loss of 2.
Yeah, Logan Neal's in there. Like a bull rider coming in, grabbing the quarterback, causing a loss. Bring it 3rd and 12.
Boy, the Maroons don't face this very often. 2 receivers to the left. Hemrick rolls out to the near side. Will run. Has a lane for a moment. Stood up. Lucas Pieper at about the 44. Gain of 5, well short of the first down.
Good containment of the defense. You had yardage to give up, in a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12 like that, so 5 yards doesn't hurt you. Way to make them run back up along the hash marks into the defense. So good defensive stand after that turnover on downs.
Deontay Gerke will step back to punt at his own 30. D'Angelo back inside that's Keaton Gray is going to return kicks there today on the punts. And Shirley is the near back. Big hit there on the line of scrimmage going after, and that's going to be inside the 20. Let's go down to Jeff Brooks on that sideline. Jeff, you've had a chance to see both offenses early on. What have you seen?
Well, I've seen 2 really good defenses to start the game, minus that first play of the game. Boy, both defenses, they are fired up and playing hard. I think both offenses, though, they need to stick their game plans and their guns, establish that run, and things will pop open for them, though.
Early on in a date, they're just kind of checking each other out to see what one's like. A little bit of a dance going on between these 2. Thanks, Jeff, for that report. So Hayes Gibson and company come back out. They had 35 yards in the first drive, and then that drive kind of pretty much stalled out after that. Let's see if they go back to the air, and they're going to run pass option themselves. Gibson goes in, then out, and gets to the sideline as he's escorted out by Adam Brock.
Number 4, Hayes Gibson.
Yeah, good read there by Gibson. Looks like it was a read play. The line pulled to the right. He took off to the left, found an open lane out there. What you want to do is get on the other side of the chains, getting a positive yardage on that first down.
Well, they got 8 on that play, so they're ahead of the chains now. The run pass option is something the quarterback, he's looking for a certain commitment from a player, deciding, am I going in or am I going out? Gibson gives off Johnson. Cut back, not there. Boy, he was stood up and finished off by Gerke. Wow.
Yeah, it's a good defensive line that those linemen are trying to sustain their blocks, trying to create that little bit of a seam for Tyler Johnson to kind of cut it back up and get some yards. So basically no gain. Now another 3rd down play, 3rd and 2 for this offense.
Coach Pizzetti, let's just call them Pizzettis, hang their hat on defense. Maroons aren't too shabby either. Both of them, as Jeff said, dialed in here early on. 3rd and 2 for the Jags.
Gibson looks, throws, caught Gray at the 30. Escapes one tackle. He already had the first down. He added a couple of more before Brock and Meyer were there for the tackle. So we're seeing Keaton Gray into the offense. That's what Coach said was going to happen, and they find him early.
You got to find a way to get your good athletes on the field there, and he is a very good athlete, plays offense, defense.
Just enough to get the first down. Ball up to the 31. Fresh set of downs. Johnson in motion. Gibson's going to go down the middle. He's got a guy behind, and it's in and out of the hands of Kelling. In back deep for the Maroons, Austin Klein, Michael Keogh. You've heard the name Keogh for years at Dowling Catholic playing football. Yet another one, and they're all good football players. And Michael, their great breakup. That pass, I have to say, maybe just a skosh underthrown. If that's a little deeper, he might still be running.
Yeah, Kelly did a good job of getting up there, getting his hands on, getting both hands on, turned around and almost made a great catch.
Gibson will look to the other side. He goes same play. They've got D'Angelo. Incomplete. Incomplete. Back there on the defense, Owen Schultz. And as Coach Wilson told us this week, he says there's been very few corners that have been as good as Owen Schlitz, and he proved it right there.
Yeah, must have saw something in their scouting report that they could go deep, but they're getting one-on-one coverage back there. Just going to have to find out which shoulder you want to throw that ball on. Valentine comes in as a wideout in the series.
And he, too, playing both sides of the ball. They look that way. Gibson's clock expiring. Here comes some pressure. Gets it away downfield and throws it away. Giving pressure was Jackson Filer. So now Cal Miller, the tight end converted to tackle, will come in to punt. Stillwell and Jackman go deep for the Maroons on fourth down. Cal gets a beauty away. Fair catch called and made at the 37. So, a lot of punts, a lot of defense, not much else going on here early in this one.
It's like a heavyweight fight that's in the first round. You know, they just kind of feel each other out, just kind of hitting leather back and forth. These are two good defenses. So they're just kind of getting a sense what's going on. Ankeny kind of seeing how they respond to the deep ball, how they kind of, on some of the cutback lanes, they're kind of collecting this information and how you want to proceed forward on your game plan.
It's one thing the coaches will do here is they try to kind of sort through what have you seen, what are the tendencies going to be. They're going to go Gavin Williams first carry. He stood up, and you can tell the Jaguars, Jackson Huber, maybe a little bit of a spy on him, kind of trying to keep him in check. Williams only his first carry, but there's been a black shirt on him every time he's been near the football.
Desmond Vonke did a good job coming up there and filling the hole. He kind of ran up a little tentative. He hasn't carried the ball since last year, so he's going to be a little rusty until he gets his game rhythm down.
Hemrick rolls out, runs, pop, dropped. Coming up for the tackle, Desmond Vaughn. And it'll be third down and 10 yards to go.
Two good plays by Desmond. Nice job. He's coming up there quickly. He's got to read. Obviously, he's reading the quarterback. I think that was a run all the way. So now it's a big set of downs here for the defense. You got a third and long. You give up a little, but you don't give up the big play.
Hemrick again in the gun. Roll out. Throw the whole way. And incomplete. Intended. Stillwell. Here's the thing, is Kean Valentine was there to make sure that wasn't going to be completed. Louis Brooks is the big playmaker for the Maroons. He's on the sideline tonight. Got injured in week 3 against Johnston there in the second half. MCL sprain. They thought maybe he'd be able to play tonight, but he is a difference maker. And the Maroons have a bunched formation on the far right side. Never rule out a trick play here or a different way to approach it. Bounced, and then the kicker is run into, but when a snap or the punt is taken by Keaton Gray, and boy, he's hit hard.
Number 15, Keaton Gray.
Adam Brock and Austin Klein and Michael Keogh there. Normally, Jeff Brooks, we bring him in when there's been a score, but now we just have to bring him in after a punt. I don't know, Jeff.
Hey, that's all right. Yeah, that punter took a good wallop, too, after that ball's bouncing around. Free game. Hey, the way they're using Keaton Gray tonight, look for something fancy somewhere down the road. They might have to call it Philly Special, but only in Ankeny.
Johnson in motion. Fake. Gibson keeps it. Bounces out of one, but not a second.
On the quarterback, keeper number 4, Hayes Gibson.
Getting 5 or 6 yards there, 6-yard gain.
Coming up is Austin Klein.
Catholic number 8, Austin Klein. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 for the Jaguars.
Keaton Gray back in the game at a wideout. I think this series they'll probably keep it on the ground versus going for the big pass to establish some of that ground tempo there in their run game.
2nd and 4. That was a gain of 6 for Hayes Gibson. He's got Johnson behind him. They toss it over to Tyler, get him in some space, and then he runs in, gets some help from some friends. Mark Lyola was there, and then the tackle made by the Maroons. Russell Pearson was there. It'll be 3rd and short.
Peterson out there on the block got a little bit of a block. It's, like I said, it's a good defensive line, very quick linebackers. They get to the point of attack.
Johnson tonight, 4 carries, 12 yards. Gibson, 3 carries, 11 yards. 63 total offense, just 5 for the Maroons. Let's see if the Jaguars can get one right here. Shirley in motion. Gibson keeps it, and he's going to be short. Stop behind the line of scrimmage, and the Maroons say that it's a fumble. Michael Keogh stood up, but he's not able to convince the officials.
I think the ground caused the fumble there, but good open field tackle by Keogh. Came in there as Gibson tried to bounce it outside to get the first down. No go there. Good open field tackle. Good stop on downs and punting opportunity.
If you can't do something on first, it's like you've struggled to do something on any other down here, especially when it's been 3rd and short. Both teams kind of struggling. As Miller gets a better leg into it. High kick. Fair catch called and made by Matt Stillwell. And we'll flip it over and go back to the offense of Hank Hemrick. Hank has been a backup for a number of years, toiled around the freshman and sophomore, maybe not getting all the playing time that he wanted, but he stuck with the program, stuck with it, and it just kind of came down, and you have a choice between a junior and a senior. A lot of times they're going to pick that senior, give them the first chance, and that's what Coach Wilson did with Hank Hemrick. As he called it, it's Hank's time.
Yep.
They give it to Tegan Johnson, and he's pulled down from behind Keaton Gray. So, Tim, you got a lot of stunting going on these running backs. How are you going to get around that if you're down?
What you're looking for them is kind of whittle away, kind of where I'm down, but I think you're just trying to find that seam, because if one person doesn't cover the gap the way they're supposed to, that's where you're trying to find that big lane. Because once you pop, if you get into that second level where the linebackers tend to have home, that's where you're going to see your big plays. So right now, everybody's hitting their gaps. There's no lane for these guys to run, and then they're shooting the corners up there to make tackles the backfield.
2.5 to play here in the first quarter. The give to Gavin Williams, right side. He's got an open seam, and then some. Nick Shirley lowers the shoulder at the 45-yard line. That's the Gavin Williams I've heard about and seen. Moves the chains, gain of 23.
They took a little cut, stepped
14,
up in.
14-23 math.
Inside Pieper, and there was a hole there. So he does have a little burst. He's got a very quick step to get to full speed.
First down
Finally some offense for the Maroons. They go a little bit of fake on their own that time. Stillwell. Gray the tackle.
Getting the tempo up a little bit, kind of trying to get their offense going, keep that defense on their heels a little bit here. Want to get the plays in quickly and keep the chains moving.
Switching sides, Jackie Wells now comes to the near side on the offense or the defensive line. Hemrick, Johnson. Oh, wow! Tegan Johnson! Say hello to the end zone. 48-yard score for the Maroons. They strike first.
Yeah, that's what happens when your safety comes in there to make a tackle like that to fill a hole. If the safety doesn't get it, all of a sudden you're in that second level. There's nobody in front of you, and that makes a long run for a touchdown. That's how you pop a big gain against a stout defense like Centennial.
If you could just get to the next level, there's nobody back there. Yep. You want to see that one again? Do we have it again? We do. We'll show you that after the timeout, as the extra point is put through the uprights by Jake Calvert. 7-0 Maroons here from Ankeny Stadium.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
4 plays, 68 yards, and it capped off on a play like this. Johnson right up the middle, little play action there, and he just goes right up. Been a luxury to this team, Tim, and he has proven it right there. You can key on Gavin Williams all you want, but I'll beat you too, says Tegan.
Yeah, he's kind of a lot like Tyler is, for Centennial. It's the guy that he's the workhorse. Goes up there, likes to carry the ball 25, 30 times a game and produces. So no flash, just gets the job done.
I'd like to say that was my nickname, no flash and get the job done, but kickoff is going to go back into the end zone. So what do you think of that Tegan Johnson there, Jeff Brooks? He can really move.
Yeah, that hole went from nothing to a lot there in just a split second. Some good blocking up front by that Dowling offensive line. And, yeah, the linebacker got sucked up a little bit, and he was gone.
Both teams had punted 2 times already in that game, and then all of a sudden Johnson does almost all the offensive work. They only had 5 yards of offense coming into that drive, Tim.
Yep, and that's just one play. Now, what you can't do is start thinking about it and get anxious here. It's going to be a long game. We're still in the first quarter, so need to sustain a drive here.
Gibson throws down the near sideline. He goes D'Angelo. Caught. Dylan D'Angelo. Great defense. All over him was Owen Schultz, but up near. Oh, incomplete. Boy, they were celebrating on that near side, and I thought he said complete. Incomplete. When the offensive line doesn't trail you, that's not a good sign.
They see it on the field. I thought it was almost a duplication of the very first play of the game, and it's open. So obviously they see something out there that they can get a one-on-one and beat them and beat the corner.
Timeout for the Jaguars. We'll step away. 7-0. Centennial leads.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Good.
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jeff.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Nick Shirley takes the handoff on the right side, and he gets a shoulder full of Michael Keogh and Deontay Gerke. Nyante played at Bondurant Farrar, came over last year, played baseball, but he also played quarterback for the Blue Jays. His sister is also there at Dowling now. His Olivia's a track runner. So Gerke just absolutely introduced himself to Nick Shirley. Gibson flushed, tucks, dives, and goes down right there in front of Gerke.
On the quarterback keeper, number 4.
Picked up 5, got some positive yards. Watching that play there, Gerke is definitely keying on Gibson. That's kind of his scout. He's going through the way he plays defense. He doesn't get touched. So he's able to go out there and read and react to how the play is flowing.
So another punting situation. And the thing is with Centennial, they don't play well from behind. They have got to figure out a way to extend some drives and keep Dowling off the field. Shorter kick, bounces, and then goes out of bounds. And so now, Tim, Dowling Catholic has a chance to really kind of open this thing up. The way it's been going, 14 points is huge.
Yeah, this is kind of a big series for the defense. You know, we got 36 seconds left in the first quarter, but they had been stopping him. They've been stoning him pretty much the entire game right up to that last series where Gavin had a little run. You know, then they took off and had the touchdown there by Teagan. Big series here for the defense.
36 seconds left, first quarter. Maroons 7, Jaguars nothing. Empty backfield for Hemrick. Hank throws, intercepted by Centennial and going all the way in. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Desmond Vaughn at the 42, he made one cutback and he was going to be into the end zone.
Chalk kick up, did you?
I didn't either. Boy, wow.
Way to jump the route there. That was Desmond Vaughn went up there, read it all the way, and took it.
All right, Jeff Brooks, I'm not sure if you saw that one. What'd you see from there?
Yeah, Vaughn was on Gavin Williams there, and he just anticipated they were going to try to get him the ball, and just like you said, jump that route. I think he did step out of bounds. Yep. I mean, it was close, but yeah, good interception.
We just showed the replays you were talking, and he just stepped out of bounds. Yep, got a little bit of white right there. So now all of a sudden, this is the best field position for the Jaguars. Let's see what they can do. Gibson sets up, throws downfield over the top of everybody. Dylan D'Angelo, 1, 2, 3, 4 Maroons on him deep. I will tell you this, Tim. He has had some time to throw the football.
That he has. The defense is biting it. They're reading, because of all that misdirection, they're reading to see who has the ball, slowing them down a little bit. Carter Kester was open over on the left side. If you could have found a secondary receiver, he would have been wide open.
The Maroons have had to play defense on 7 Centennial passes. Johnson, a cutback, gets into the second level and gets inside the 30-yard line. 14 seconds left to go in the first quarter before Gerke and Brock combine on the tackle. There was a cutback lane there.
Yeah, good block on the outside there. They looked upfield, then 10 yards downfield was Brader Peterson getting a block on the linebacker, knocking people backwards.
After 1 quarter of play.
And that is going to do the first quarter, 7-0. We got a good one here from Ankeny Stadium. Quarter 2 when we come back.
Earlier this week, Brandon and Ryan were chosen for
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Well, it's a 7-0 Dowling lead after 1 quarter of play, Tim Halbert. Good so far. Jaguars have 81 total offensive yards, and they give it to Johnson. He makes one spin, and then all of a sudden there's 5 Maroons right there. First one to make a miss and go down is Russell Pearson.
If Filer was out there and a good rush, they're keeping it in. So bringing up second, I'm surprised that he got anything out of that play.
Yeah. Well, and that was one thing I heard is that, a lot of what Tyler Johnson had seen last week for cutback lanes maybe not going to be there. The only thing that might be there is if he completely reverses field, and right there he was trying to do it. But if you don't get a good start or have that special gift of speed, I thought maybe that Centennial was leaning. Gibson was looking downfield. He's got somewhere to go. Throws towards the end zone. Touchdown, Jaguars! Tyler Johnson. And there's a penalty flag at the end of the play. 28-yard score for Centennial.
I didn't see the flag.
It came back from Brad Bunting.
I don't know if the quarterback got hit late.
After the touchdown, sideline warning on the Maroons. So the touchdown will stand.
Tyler goes, well, if I can't find a running lane, I'll just run down the end zone and throw me the ball.
Well, the thing about that play, Tim, is I don't know if we'll be able to see it in replay or not, but you could see, I know you can go back on the internet so you can go back and see what I'm talking about, but he's getting an initial, Gibson's getting some time in the middle.
Yep.
He rolled out an extended play. He easily could have tucked it and probably got 7 yards, but he saw Johnson was ahead of the defender, and he scored. We're tied at 7 from Ankeny Stadium. Back in 1 minute.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jeff.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Centennial won last year's matchup 17-7. Dowling won the playoff match in 17 after losing the regular season game. The Maroons trying to avoid 3 straight regular season losses to the Jaguars. In this game, Jeff Brooks, you were clearly in position for that one. That was quite a play.
Yeah, I navigate myself around to the right spots. Hey, Gibson rolled out initially to the left, and he saw that nothing was happening over there. So just that slight roll back to the right side, man, and Johnson was wide open over there in that back side of the other right-hand side of the end zone. Jeff, that was a nice play.
Jeff, one last thing. What's the it looks like maybe the intensity. This almost feels like Ankeny and Centennial here going against each other.
Yeah, a little bit. Boy, I haven't made it over to the Dowling side. I know the Centennial's fired up. It's homecoming. The crowd's into it. There's a lot of extra people on the sidelines. But I think the Dowling crowd, though, that's a nice run. They must be watching us on TV because they haven't traveled as well as I thought they might tonight.
I thought maybe so. Well, they're coming here for 2 consecutive games next week. They'll be playing the Ankeny Hawks as Jaden Cooper makes the tackle of Gavin Williams after Gavin got 7 on that play.
I think you might see this series a heavy dose of Gavin to kind of see how that offense kind of get them off track here and see if that defense can keep contained.
Single coverage to the top. They're going to fake it there. Hemrick's going to shield 1, but not 2. Huber and had the leg. Jackson Huber and Nick Shirley. But Tim, enough for the first down, move the chains. Those safeties were up on the line again on that play.
Basically playing a single safety back, as they're I think the safety's coming up, creating a gap in there. Almost sort of like a 44 stack. They kind of look at it, looks like a 2 safety, but one's creeping up, one's playing center field.
Gavin Williams, the carry, just kind of hops over 1 and then just keeps running and somehow keeps churning those legs.
Number 21, Gavin Williams on the carry.
Let's see, coming in, tackling was Mason Yagi, who's now getting a chance to play defense as well as offense.
Going behind Olson and Bowles, the right guard and right tackle there for Dowling. Pretty big guys, 225, 300-pound Ryan Bowles, who's basically still a D1 prospect. Big guys to run behind.
Bowles has had a brother go through, or 2 go through the Maroon system. Williams stood up and coming in first was Jaden Cooper, finished him off, but I think, was it Frazier that got him first?
I think it was Wells that was in there and playing some defense.
Jackie Wells,
54,
you bet.
Yeah.
It was Jackie
Came
Wells.
in there. As coach said he was going to play some. He's going to play some 2 ways, but good athlete. He's got some size, 6'4", 230 as a junior. Talked to Coach Anderson on the sideline warming up and said he's got lots of potential. If he gets to the weight room, he could be a player.
As Coach Pizzetti said, he's a special defensive talent. He showed it right there. Gray on the blitz, can't get there. Hemrick's going to keep running, and Hank Hemrick is going to find himself in the end zone in about 30 yards. He's at the 20, 10, touchdown, Dowling Catholic. 67-yard score for the Maroons. The blitz came from the corner, and all Hemrick had to do was get through the second wave where the linebackers were, and he was in the end zone.
Yeah, left corner came in there. Keaton Gray came in on the backside, come around behind the line of scrimmage, almost caught him. But when he cut back, that's where Gray was going to be normally, if he didn't blitz.
Let's see that one again, because it was. Hemrick was rolling to that far sideline, and then he just made a simple cut back, and then he was gone. Attempt the extra point is Jake Calvert. He boots it through the uprights. 14-7 Maroons here at Ankeny Stadium.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Jonathan Gonzalez puts the ball on the tee as the Maroons lead 14-7. Paul Yeager, Tim Halber, Jeff Brooks, and the entire CISM crew here at Ankeny Stadium. We didn't have much offense early, and then all of a sudden we've seen teams actually find the end zone.
That's a big place.
Little dribbler up the middle. Going to be taken by the Jaguars up to about the 30-yard line, and I think that was Jonathan Stockwell, number 36. And Jeff Brooks is down there on that sideline, and just a little cutback goes a long way, doesn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, Keaton Gray had Hemrick by the ankles And I don't know how he missed him, but it was a great play by him, cutting it back and then going all the way back across the green. Great run. Offensive line held it just long enough.
That's all you need. Just get the guy through and find your way to the score. So, Hayes Gibson and company back out. 8:46 to play here before half. Gibson's got shirt. They fake it. Gibson keeps it. He gets out of one, but not two, as Michael Keogh up. Keogh's one of those returning starters, plays that bandit linebacker spot, 5'10", 160, but you know it is a solid 160.
Yeah, it is. He's got a lot of closing speed, even though he plays back there. He's off the line of scrimmage about 5-6 yards, comes up and pinches it down, closer cut. Looks like between him and Gerke are both keying on the quarterback, watching that fake. They're watching it, just kind of see how long it goes through, and then committing to the run.
Ball up to the 34, gain of 3, approaching 8 minutes to play. Gray comes now to the far sideline and will run a pass route. They go the other way, coming back for it, trying to get back, and a flag does come down. D'Angelo was the intended receiver, and Schultz never turned around. Tim, you talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I saw that in that incomplete pass we had here in the first quarter along right in front of us on the 50. I thought he didn't turn around. He was kind of facing, they call it facing the receiver. You don't look, you just kind of get in their face. So here he did the same thing on that coverage. Good call on that because I was going to clean that up a little bit. But he's getting open. I mean, he's beating Schultz on that out and up. So we're going to see that more through the game.
2 penalties, and they've both been on Dowling tonight. One on the sideline and the other now on the same side of the field, very close to the last one, but this one was a pass interference. So they'll reset. Under 8 minutes, 7:55 to play.
At the 49-yard line of Ankeny Centennial, 1st and 10.
Once again, lots of time for Gibson.
He'll keep it, put his head down, and get a couple of yards.
Quarterback Hayes
I think the first one to get a shoulder on it was Theo Davis. Gain of 2 on that play.
Russell Pearson. Gain of 3 for Gibson. 2nd and 7.
D'Angelo going wide right.
Yep, D'Angelo to the top. And here to the near side is Mark Lyola. They go down that far sideline. Running stride for stride is D'Angelo. Both were going for the ball. They're going Schultz again on the coverage.
Gibson took a pretty good shot there. He kind of hung back there and let it go through. Filer in there got I would have thought maybe a flag could have been thrown on that. It's kind of a pretty hard hit on the quarterback that already released the ball, but brings up 3rd and 8.
Over the weekend, Hayes Gibson tweeted that he'd picked up a preferred walk-on offer at Iowa State. So if he wants to go that route, that is an option. We'll see what he can do. On the screen, and it's just short of Johnson's feet, or hands, and hit him more in the feet. Again, coming was Schultz. It'll be 4th down.
He's seeing something deep out there. I imagine the coaches in the press box are thinking if we can go deep and run him off that corner, someone can cut across underneath and be wide open. So sometimes you flood that zone out there. Once it clears out, run somebody in there. So they might be open later on.
Miller to punt. Stillwell is at the 10. Shorter kick. And then it bounces out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Just the way you planned it.
Wow. Special teams play. Stillwell took a gamble, let it go over his head. He came up to kind of fool the defense, fooled me a little bit. And the ball bounced behind him. He was hoping for the straight back. Instead, it took a hard left A lot of the way my chip shots work. They approach the green, hit it, and kick left.
Sometimes my tee shots look like that.
Mine never go straight.
This is a good spot for the defense. Now, that series, they got over across the 50. Then we're punting here, giving them a short field or long field for Dowling to go back there. So, here's a chance for the defense to kind of stymie them, see if they get the ball back. A good field position.
Well, Hank Hemrick and company, they've struggled to get sustained drives. They've had big plays. They do lead 14-7. Yeah, as I say, number 72, I think, did a little motion there. I think Ryan Bowles is going to get called for the false start. So half the distance. If the ball wasn't in the shadow of the goal line before, it is now.
It looks like they want to do something to the left there.
Still first down.
This would be your 99.9 yard line, or yards to go.
They still go from the eye. They go Gavin Williams, cuts back, head down, stood up, pops his way out. There you go. This could be one of those 99-yard plays. He's out to the 30, to the 40, then he's finally knocked out of bounds. Keaton Gray and also Kean Valentine. It looked like, Tim, that Gavin was just going to put his head down, maybe fall forward for a yard, but then he popped it out and went a pickup of 40 yards on that play.
Looked like kind of a scrum out there. They're kind of pushing the big pile there, but nobody wrapped him up enough, and he just done a spin move and got outside.
Maroons have a little bit of breathing room. They go back first there.
Let's get number 21, Gavin Williams.
Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Chad Fickbohm, the boys cross-country coach. We got to look at that Gavin run again, do we? Oh, let's see that run again real quick. This is the play 2 plays ago. Let's take a look at it. Right up the middle, and then he just kind of darts right back out and escaped a couple of tackles. And, boy, he could have kept running there. Back to live action now, under 6 minutes to play. They go Johnson, puts his head down. He's up to the 45.
Good job there by Jaden Cooper to kind of get that seal on the inside, turning it back up in the middle of the field, and so he keeps that gain to a minimum. So it brings up 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Big down here for the defense. See if they can kind of get him stopped here and get the ball back.
Williams has a total of 64 yards on 6 carries. Let's see if they go to him on 3rd down. They send Johnson in motion, go the other way with Gavin. He's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The new guy on defense, Kean Valentine. Big stop in a 3rd down situation.
And that's not easy running back to bring down in the open field. He got up there, forced the pressure up there. Gavin looking to bounce it outside. There's no place to go. So good stop with the defense. Get the ball back. Still almost a little over 4.5 minutes to go in this quarter.
So Dowling not getting near the snaps that they like. Having a hard time. They've had big plays, just had a hard time sustaining drives tonight. Punt is blocked. Still on the turf. Picked up, scooped up by. Penalty's going to come into the near side. Punt was blocked, Desmond Vaughn. And I think it was Pieper that picked it up. The flag, I assume, is going to be on the sideline.
On the sideline, or if the punter was holding. I think, after the block, I think he was trying to hold it from advancing the ball.
And it is a sideline violation. We got to see that one again. Before. It's a good snap, but just coming untouched was Vaughn. And then the Jags pick it up. You talk about falling on it, maybe the scoop and score. Well, let's see what the Jaguars can do here. Gibson keeps it, cuts back, gets a couple.
There's a little bit of a lane there, not that much. Owsley played a good job there, pitching it down, making the tackle, because the motion went away from him. There was a lane in there.
Gain of 1 second and 9.
But here's where he can't get away with a field goal. You want to get the ball in the end zone. You want to get this game tied with a little under 4 minutes to go.
14-7. Maroons have the lead, but the Jags have the football inside the 20. Gibson looks left, throws. Incomplete. Going for D'Angelo. And then a penalty flag comes out.
Might have been held. He was trying to make his corner. Or a late hit of the quarterback.
And you can see right now Chris Owsley is trying to fire up that team. He is the defensive leader of the squad. He's trying to rally him right now. After the play, unsportsmanlike on the defense. Unsportsmanlike on Centennial. So they'll offset the unsportsmanlikes. I said it to Jeff earlier. I said, could you? You can see it from here, and I know, and it's hard for when you're on the sideline, Tim. It's that emotion is just there everywhere, and kind of hard to sort it out. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. Can you pick up a little intensity?
Yeah, there's definitely intensity. There was just a little chippiness after the play. I think Owsley was getting on his own teammates for holding their water and not going after the play and cleaning up that pile. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it happens in football.
Gibson on third down. They give to Johnson. Cuts out once, and then all of a sudden it disappears. Nowhere to go.
Adam Brow came in there from a safety position to make the tackle.
Gerke as well. Dowling just finds a way to find the football. So I think it does look like the Jags are going to try to kick the field goal. Connor Page comes out. He's 1 for 1 on the season. Good from 32 yards out. This one will be almost the exact same. This one will be a 31-yard attempt. Keaton Gray, the holder. The long snapper is Trey Morris on the right hash. Good snap, good hold, good distance. And it's accurate and good. 14-10. So the turnover turns into points for Centennial.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
Jaguars will kick it off with Cole Vincent, and it's taken at the 1 by Gavin Williams. Got another penalty flag coming down. Williams is still on his feet, and he'll go out at the 23-yard line. They'll sort that one over on the far side. All right, Jeff, I don't know. Now it's intensity, and now it's almost gotten sloppy.
Yeah, a little bit. That happens on kickoffs. A little holding here or there, no big deal. Hey, right off, I want to put my most valuable player plug into. I don't know how this game's ending up, but early on, I'm going with number 24, man, Desmond Vaughn. He's been on it tonight. So mark me down early. We'll see how it pans out.
Yep.
All right, you make a note, Jeff, and we'll put him on the list. I know that. Oh, and of course, Tim's also already put him down on his list. So Jeff and Tim are on the same page tonight. So the Maroons will go all the way back to the 10-yard line to start this drive.
Uncharacteristic for Dowling to have turnovers like that. A block punt, interception. And Centennial's taking advantage of it.
Williams goes in motion. They go Johnson underneath. Teagan puts his head down.
Ball handed off at the middle, number 31.
That big offensive line tries to find a little bit of room. Jackie Wells, one of the last guys out of there, which means he was the first one in there. And Jaden Cooper.
1 yard gain, 3rd and 9. 2nd and 9.
They'll give him 1 yard on that play as we're approaching 2 minutes. Johnson darts it back out. It's got some open room. He's going to be across the first down.
Already at number 31, Keegan Johnson.
Before Lucas Pieper came up to make the tackle across the 20. That'll move the chains. Minute 55. Let's see if that Maroon high-tempo offense can get going.
1st and 10, Dowling Catholic.
Hemrick looks to throw. They're going on the out and up. They go down the sideline. That ball's thrown up. That's anybody's football. Trying to come back for it was Josh Jackman. That ball just went up and up and up and just finally came down.
Good no call on that with receiver going out.
Valentine was there on the coverage.
Yeah, Jackman in there because he had to come back about 5 yards just in an attempt to catch the ball. So good no call. There's a lot of moving around there, but it wasn't impeding either one's progress.
It'll be 3rd down, minute 36. Maroons still have 3 timeouts if they can get the first down here. They go Teagan. He's got room, and he's pushed out of bounds short of the first down. Jackie Wells.
Johnson on the carry.
Nick Shirley there as well. And this one, clock, minute 29, field possession pretty short if you don't get it.
Gain of 6,
You're 3rd down and 3. I think you not really sure you can go for it if you don't get it here. You got to cut that distance at half at least on this play.
Watching a game within a game, watching Jaden Cooper going up against Ryan Bowles. He's given up about 80 pounds as a lineman. Holding his own, doing a pretty good job.
Mac Anderson comes to the near side as there's trips to the right. They're going to keep it with the quarterback, and he is going to get the first down. Hemrick.
Number 12, Hank Hinman.
As Logan Neals the tackle.
33, Logan Neals.
Once the ball set, the clock will go. Once the change is set. They have all 3 timeouts, the Maroons.
So now you got to figure out, okay, now we're in a spot for town. I think now once you get past the 40, you're going for it on 4th no matter what. Hemrick rolls, then runs. Had a cut back, made one guy miss. Now he's going to go all the way back to the other side and get a first down and still run into Jaguar territory before Wells makes the tackle in open space.
Uncanny, you didn't see that Desmond Vaughn just missed the tackle there.
Fumble, but I think the Maroons get it back. Ethan Frazier, and that's going to have to be one of the Maroons' timeout.
Ball just slipped out of his hands and dropped it. Not an incomplete pass, but a fumble.
From Drake Stadium.
We'll also meet
Hawks 21, Roosevelt Rough Riders 7.
Ankeny leads Roosevelt 21-7. The Hawks come home next week. They'll face the same Dowling Catholic Maroons. And then Centennial will go on the road to Marshalltown to open up district play. Then they'll be at Southeast Polk before they come back on the 11th for their game against Fort Dodge. Other games today that I'm kind of watching and of interest in is Cedar Falls at Bettendorf. That's a good cross-district matchup, too. Waukeet Valley is the other game on CISN tonight. And I haven't checked that one in a while. It was 3-0 early Valley in that game.
Big second down, 2nd and 15 for this defense.
45 seconds, Maroons by 4. Himrick calls his own number and then runs right into the back of his own lineman. And also Jaden Cooper. 3rd down, now 17. And now the Maroons not exactly calling timeout. If you're Centennial, maybe you call the time.
Looks like they would go for one last play here. The clock can run out without running a play.
That'll be the end of the first half, where you have Dowling Catholic with 229 yards of total offense, 223 coming on the ground, Centennial 119 yards passing. And so you've got the Maroons heading off with a 14-0 lead. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening here. We're going to have a couple of interviews. One will be with head coach. We'll talk with Dowling head coach Tom Wilson in just a minute. He's got to clear with his Iowa Catholic radio responsibilities, and then we'll catch him as he heads off, and we'll get Jerry Pizzetti coming out of the locker room here. But so far, it has been Hayes Gibson, 8 carries for 20 yards, Johnson, 7 carries, 29 yards. But there was that opening pass, first pass of the game, and now let's go down Jeff Brooks. He is down on our sideline. Jeff?
Yeah, hey, I'm here with Coach Wilson. Coach, first quarter defense was all about defense, and even in the second quarter there were some good defensive plays. What can you say to how to continue that here in the second half of the game?
Well, I think our defense has done a tremendous job, and we've been in tough spots, and building to 10, I feel really fortunate. We got to be more consistent on offense.
So, speaking of offense, how are you going to talk to the boys about getting the running game going? You had that one big play. Second quarter was about big plays on both sides. How do you develop that more consistently?
Well, they're moving their front a lot. We've got to be able to pick that up, and I think we can be more creative formationally to help us out as well.
On defense, Coach, definitely they took their chances deep a lot. Shoring that up, it looks like they're going after that. Is there any adjustments you're going to make to that?
Just got to get pressure on him.
All right, Coach. Good luck second half.
All right, that's Tom Wilson with our Jeff Brooks. We'll step away. We'll talk with Chad Fickbohm, the head boys cross-country coach, and Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. When we come back, it's halftime. Dowling leads 14-0 here. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Back here at halftime, Paul Yeager and Eric Finkbaum, the head coach of the Centennial Jaguars boys cross-country team. And I don't know if I would want to run tonight in this humid weather. Would your boys want to run in this weather?
Well, we took the game ball from Dowling back, so it was a little bit hotter than what we had hoped, but yeah.
For a reason, you got to tell us why.
Absolutely. We ran that ribbon run from Dowling to raise awareness for childhood cancer and blood disorder center at Blank Children's Hospital, and then to raise money. So the guys raised $8,822, and what's cool about it is there's a matching donor, so we'll double that for Blank Children's Hospital.
It's been a big week for matching children's hospitals, but this is one that you have done before. This is not the first time I think you guys have done this.
This is our 5th year doing this.
So why is it important to do this? I mean, because you can't think, you just think athletics, it's all about just winning and losing, maybe developing, but we all know it's way more than that.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you saw the back of our shirts, it says Be the Good.
Turn around, show us the shirt.
All right, Be the Good. Be the good. That's kind of our theme for the year, and we try to teach the guys it's more than just competing. It's about being good, serving others, and it started as a community service project, and the guys just love it. So it's going to be a good lifelong lesson for them.
And the one thing that they do year after year, but also one of the other things they do is run. You ran Tuesday night at Valley over at Southwoods there.
The field is yours for your halftime.
Big meet. I know that Coach Cogdill was saying that was important for the girls. How important was that for the boys?
Coming off of our Iowa State meet, we didn't run real well. So this was a big test for us, and we did run well. So we beat some teams that we hadn't. Gabriel Vicker won the meet, puts him back where he should be. So it builds us confidence going into the rest of the season.
All right, so you got to start naming guys. You got to tell us who some of these guys are on the team that we need to watch.
All right, Gabriel Vicker, he's our number one. He should finish high at state. I would expect that. Connor Cunningham, he's our number 2 right now, running really strong. Nate Jones, these guys are all juniors. Nate Jones, Kate Christensen, a newcomer this year, Joe Goodall. He's our number 5. So these 5 guys, they're running really well. And we've got a group right behind him as well. So
you got to have that next wave that kind of helps get you ready and keep those first 5 on their toes.
Absolutely, and we've got that this year. So we've always kind of had the 5, and then we dropped off a little bit, but we've got the next 5 pushing us.
All right, so it is fun. It's supposed to be fun and get good exercise.
Absolutely.
So it's been homecoming, so you don't have a meet tomorrow. But it's not an easy day.
No, tomorrow for us is a long run, and then next week we'll compete down in Indianola, and then we go to Iowa City, and then Fort Dodge, and the season's about done.
It's hard to believe. Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like it. The weather feels like we just started. This has been ridiculous.
This is opposite. Like, summer was nice weather. August was awesome, and now it's like, ugh. So I'm ready for the weather to change.
Yeah, and it'll be there before you know it. State, just like the girls, for the boys, is also at Fort Dodge. Absolutely. You get a chance to run up there before the state meet as long as you qualify for it, but that's important too.
Yes, that meet in Fort Dodge in early October is kind of that pre-meet or pre-state meet where everybody comes guns a-blazing, so kind of see where we're at.
All right, best teams in the state are? Besides you?
Well, all right. You've got Dowling, you've got PV, you've got Johnson's up there. So those guys, they're kind of up in front. I'd like to see us finish in the top 10 this year. I think we've got a group that can do it.
All good. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming up, Coach.
Absolutely.
Go easy on them tomorrow.
I will.
It's only supposed to rain. You will. You'll be on the bike.
I'll go easy, yep.
All right, we're done talking boys cross country. We got to find out what Dan Holmes saw on the game. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching our halftime show here on CISN.TV.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-V Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-V Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
Back here at halftime at Ankeny Stadium, Centennial trails Dowling Catholic 14-10. Dan Holmes been down on the field, and we've been asking Jeff Brooks down there if it's pretty hard hitting. What do you think?
Definitely, yeah. Hear a lot of noises coming out of those piles, so yeah. That's always fun.
A couple of flags, though. I'm guessing the officials are going to maybe start throwing more if the teams are going at it a little more.
Yeah, I think they'll want to keep it under control. They don't want to get out of hand.
All right, what are you seeing so far? Johnson last week, I know you were at the other game up in the Unidome. He had a lot of cutbacks. Tonight, he's had some yards, but what are they doing to take him out of the game?
Well, Dowling's just got a good defense. It looks like Centennial's going to have a hard time running the ball. That's why they're throwing it as much as they are. I think they're going to probably have to win the game through the air.
Hayes Gibson feeling a little more confident. What coaches have been telling me, I don't know if they've been telling you the same thing. He's been feeling more comfortable running, but he's looking pretty relaxed and under control, and he's had time to throw the ball.
Oh, yeah, even if he doesn't, he can get out of the pocket and find those receivers like he did on that touchdown.
So this is something that the defenses are good for both of these teams. What are you seeing from both of these defenses?
Well, they are. I mean, the game started out as a defensive battle. I thought it might be another 14-7 game like last year, but it quickly turned. Dowling certainly has a lot of ways that they can move the ball, so it'll be interesting to see if Centennial can stop them.
All right, and Gavin Williams' first full test. I think that offense is kind of trying to figure out what their identity is right now.
They are, but boy, he looked good on that 140-yard run, didn't he?
Yeah. That's the reason the Hawkeyes liked him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought he was stopped at the line of scrimmage twice there, and then he managed to break loose, and that's what he can do, though.
All right, so second half, what do you think you got to do? What's the winner going to have to do here?
Well, Centennial had, two big plays there in the first half from Desmond Vaughn. They're probably going to need some more plays like that. Special teams, either a punt block or a punt return for a touchdown or something like that. Big plays that'll keep them in the game.
Block punt turns into 3 for the Jags. We'll see what they can do in the second half.
Yeah, and he had the interception that set up the first touchdown. So, yeah, that's what they need.
All right, who was on the podcast this week?
Well, actually, we had to postpone the podcast. We had a little snafu with the Cyclone Fanatic guys. I don't want to name names, but somebody had the equipment that wasn't supposed to have it, so we had to cancel.
So who were you going to have? Who are you going to have next week?
Well, we were going to have Coach Wims on from Ankeny Volleyball because he's probably going to get his 1,000th win tomorrow, so we wanted to talk about that. But we'll have him on later in the season. This upcoming week, we're going to have a couple of the football coaches on, a couple of players to talk about both this game and then the games next week.
And other stuff that we can expect on the Ankeny Fanatic site?
Well, next weekend I'm going to go down to Central for a game to watch Blaine Hawkins, the former Ankeny quarterback. He's playing against Loris, who has a former Centennial player on their team. So it'll be kind of fun to watch, an old Hawk and an old Jag go at it.
And you won't have you don't want to go to that Iowa Middle Tennessee State game?
No, I don't think so. I am going to go to the Iowa Penn State game a few weeks later, though, because then we got some more Jags playing that day. So I'll make it over there sometime.
You'll be all right. Were you in Ames? You were in Ames last Saturday, weren't you?
I was. Yeah, that was a long day.
Yeah. After a long night going to Cedar Falls.
It was a really long weekend, but it was fun. I mean, I love this time of year.
It is fun. So volleyball tomorrow, you'll cover?
Well, I would, but I'd already signed up. I'm doing a charity bike ride that I do every year, so I'm doing that instead. I'm probably going to get wet, but that's okay.
You're a tough guy, Dan.
Hey, I try to be.
All right, Dan Holm from Ankeny Fanatic. Check out their site. They're dedicated to everything Ankeny, both Hawks and Jags. We're at halftime. We'll take a look at stats. We'll check in with Coach Pizzetti after this. You're watching high school football on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here.
Hey,
welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher
Back
in
here
Ankeny.
at halftime, I would like to thank Chad Finkbaum and Dan Holm for joining me. I may have called him Eric. That's my apologies to Chad. It's Eric Cogdill last week. So see, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on in the brain, but I want to thank both those guys for coming in. And we are here at halftime, Tim. It's 14-10 Dowling in front of Centennial. And if you look at some of these statistics, and there is one thing that stands out to you right away.
Yeah, Centennial has more passing yards than rushing yards. I don't know, maybe Coach will rectify it, but they're seeing something out there. They can move the ball in the air. They've had some opportunities out there, so that's still the game. You know, we looked at, was Williams going to carry the ball a lot? Even splits between Williams and Tegan Johnson at 7 carries each for that first half.
Well, and, think of Centennial out of the gate. They came with a pass.
Yes.
And I guess that shouldn't have been a surprise because you know that, we run the ball, we do this, we do that. But no, let's just go differently and throw the football. And that's what they did. And you kind of knew that Dowling's going to do all sorts of stuff. They can run, they can pass. Sometimes they can do both on the same play. I mean, they just whatever they want. But there's something about an identity, this Centennial team running the football. They've been trying to get it to Tyler Johnson. 7 carries, 29 yards. Hayes Gibson, 8 carries, 20 yards. They've got to figure out a way to get them a little higher.
They're running that misdirection like they do so well. We haven't seen usually like a Nick Shirley gets a carry in there. We just haven't really seen much of that.
Loyola?
Yep. And then he's only had a couple of carries. But what's causing that, though, is that the offensive line has more time to block. And we've seen that Gibson has been back there having plenty of time to hit passes on the deep routes. And he did have a nice scramble. He rolled the left, saw the block, spun, moved out, stayed with the pass play, and threw a touchdown pass. So there's avenues, there's lanes out there. Both teams are playing an extra guy up in the box. So you can just find that you're going to get a lot of single coverage down the field.
Well, the Jaguars have started to have their special players out, and their coaching staff is starting to make their way. And it looks like we're going to have Jeff Brooks with one of the coaches here in just a moment. I see Ryan Pizzetti walking right on by Jeff, and Jerry has made his way, and Jeff will get him here in just a moment as we are at halftime. Centennial trails 14-10. Let's go down to the sideline. Jeff Brooks has this report. Jeff? There you go, Jeff. Now I see you.
I'm here with Coach Pizzetti. Coach, hey, great defensive battle there in the first half. Both teams were hitting hard. It really looked good on both sides.
I just think it's a great football team between two teams that are hitting and wanting to play hard, and both of them are.
So I don't get to say this much about a team you coach. More passing yards the first half than the first half than rushing yards.
Mix it up, and you do know our top running back's not playing, and we don't know if he will for a while. But when you get a kid that scored 20 touchdowns in 10 games last year and he's not playing it, we miss him a lot. But we got some other people stepping up, and that's what it's all about.
Looks like you have a definite edge on the outside, though, with your wide receiver and that deep ball. I think you're going to hit one this half. What are your thoughts on that?
I sure hope you're right.
Hey, go get him second half, Coach.
All right. Jeff was in the huddle, and he could have given the halftime speech. Good job there, Jeff. All right, fans are going crazy here, and we are going to go crazy with second half action in just a moment. You're watching high school football on CISN.TV. Back in 2 minutes with the second half.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
Centennial of Ankeny trails 14-10 over Dowling Catholic. The Maroons are number 4 in the BC Moore Power Rankings. Centennial number 6. But Tim Halber, this is a very good Dowling Catholic team. Their loss is against number 1 Valley, who at last check, Valley was leading at halftime over Waukee 10-3. That game closer kind of than I thought that one would be. Valley looks to be a really good team, although Waukee has been getting better each and every week. So
yeah, they have the quarterback. If he ever gets settled, gets some players around him, they get their offense figured out. They're a tough out. They're gonna be a tough one to get past.
So here, second half, what do you got to do if you're the Maroons to win?
I think stop the turnovers. They probably see if they get Gavin going. That seems to be their bell cow. If he can get going, they're going to do well. And if I was Centennial, I think keep looking for that big play. I think they keep bringing that deep route. There's going to be a drag over the middle. I think Gibbs is kind of finding his receivers. I think that might be the answer.
Kick is underway for the second half. Connor Page puts a leg into it, and it is a touchback.
One way to keep Gavin from returning it for a touchdown.
Well, when you get your legs fresh and you can boot it like that. So The Maroons will come out on offense. Hank Hemrick, 9 carries, 90 yards. Tegan Johnson, 7 carries, 71 yards. And Gavin Williams, 7 carries, 62 yards. That's a pretty balanced attack right there.
That's it. The Centennial defense has done a really good job against that. Nank and Bowles, the bookend tackles that come in at, some pretty good size, 300 pounds each. And they maintain their own. They kind of stalemate up at the front line.
Hemrick in the gun. Williams up the middle, off tackle. Heil pushes him back after a couple of yard gain. 47, 33, and 55, otherwise known as Owen Vernon, Logan Niels. Jaden Cooper, quick snap coming for the Maroons. That part of their game has been gone so far. Williams, left side. He's got a little seam, and he's out of bounds. Logan Niels, the credit. Peeper there,
on the
too.
outside, yep. He get out there. After playing against a Tegan Johnson, and you get used to how he runs, then you bring a guy in like Gavin Williams, has another gear out there, so when you go to the outside, he gets out there so fast that you have to get adjusted to get to the outside, cutting that lane down.
11:24, third quarter. Maroons with the football, 3rd and short. They're ahead of the chains. Going to change the play.
Looks like a safety blitz. Corner blitz looking for the defense.
Gray's sneaking up. They go Williams. He's got the first down. Ranke and Frazier the tackle. So the Maroons will play possession football. That's something that they went to about 3-4 years ago, where they really tried to increase the number of snaps in a game. Looking at the, call it the money ball of football, looking at the stats. If we can get more plays, we might score more. But we also play good defense by keeping the other team's offense off the field. Williams tackled by Ranke.
Coach Wilson said that in his pregame, through the week, that they're used to having a 2-back set. They run 2 backs. They're not used to having just a single running back. They like to play 2 different guys, wear them down. So if you run multiple plays, you need 2 running backs, about 20 carries each to make it work.
Williams, left side. Boy, he just bowls his way through Huber and Shirley. Shirley had to go for the ride. Huber will get the tackle. Tegan Johnson not a part of this backfield right now. That looks like they're going exclusively with Williams on this set. They had gone to that 2-back set early on, and instead it almost looks like we're just taking 31 out and putting 21 back in a spot.
Looks like they found something in the running game with the tackles kind of firing ahead, going for positive yardage.
Well, when you've
make the defense stop them.
When you've been doing it for 3 weeks, signs come out, changing the play. Keeper. Hemrick's got room, cuts back at the 50, he's still on his feet, 40, 30, race to the end zone, can he win? Touchdown, Dowling Catholic. Hank Hemrick, 55 yards for the score.
Are you worried? I was just going to say, worry about the defense coming up to get the running back, to get to Gavin. Quarterback gets a free lane.
Hemrick took it. It was a changed play. They saw it. He ran to that left side on the replay here, made a great cutback, and then downfield blocking, Tim, freed that play. Got to have your wide receivers block those plays over 20 yards. The extra point attempt coming. Jake Calvert, the lefty, puts it through the upright, and the Maroons lead 21-10 here at Ankeny Stadium.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
You don't have to go
Hank
to Hy-Vee
Hemrick
Market
coming
Grill
into the
to
season
get
at
Hy-Vee
48 carries for 136 yards. Tonight, 10 carries, 145. He's bested his season total and put his Maroons on top, 21-10 here, 9:54 third quarter. Paul Yeager, Tim Halbert, Jeff Brooks, the CISN crew here at Ankeny Stadium.
What was his first touchdown? Was it 60?
It was darn close to that.
Where he had the cutback here, or it could have been. Yeah,
he scored
60.
on runs of 67 and 55. Johnson scored on 48. So it's not been long sustained drives for him.
Big plays.
Big plays. That was a 6-play, 80-yard drive, 2:06 on the clock. 21-10 is your score. No drive has gone over 2 minutes, 46 seconds tonight. I thought it would be a little different than that, Tim. I really did. I just felt, knowing the Maroons and watching them on tape and watching them over the years, they can hold the football for a long time, and so can Centennial.
Yes. And Centennial's done a nice job of grinding it out, but they're looking for the pass play. Dowling has just found that block, finding that little bit of a gap there, and then they do cut across the field. These have been really cutting against the grain, pick up some downfield blocking, big plays.
Jonathan Gonzalez, hand in the air after the ball falls off the tee. It's a short kick again. Taken at the 15 by D'Angelo, trying to get to the outside seams, got a cutback. And then great second and third effort from that defense, just non-stop. Adam Brock, and also special teams play, Will Lenhart. You know who's special for us is Jeff Brooks down on our sideline from Shields. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm just going to call Hemrick Captain Cutback. Jeez. Yeah, he's had two really nice runs. They really came out. They're establishing Williams on the run to start this third quarter. He looked really good initially, and then, man, when Hemrick had that opportunity, I think they were still keying on Williams a little bit, and got to hold your ground there.
That's how you can score 2 touchdowns on 10 carries. They go up the middle. Wow, what a pop right off the bat. But Centennial not going away. Russell Pearson, the tackle of Tyler Johnson, and Deontay Gerke. Second down, almost at the chains. They got their 3 yards there. This could be a passing situation. D'Angelo comes near. Preston Kelling and Valentine go to the top. They're going to throw the football. He steps up down the middle. He's got D'Angelo off the fingertips. Incomplete. Wow. He led up at about the 40, picked the sprint back up at the 30, and just almost there. Michael Keogh, the coverage. Keogh was just along for the ride there. He wasn't going to break that one up or catch him.
No, he was just hoping to make the tackle at the end. But just off the fingertips, kind of floated out there. Several times, I think, Dowling's doing the same thing. They're trying to control that run, because they know how good of a running game that Centennial has. What you're finding is a lot of single coverage down deep in the field. 2 receivers cut off short routes. D'Angelo took a fly.
Third down, cut back. Johnson's going to be short. He needed to get up near the 39. Brock and Gerke on the tackle. So I hear there was a special guest both at the Ankeny game, and now he's up here at the Centennial game, a head coach of a certain university that wears black and gold. Kirk Farron's down at Roosevelt, watching Roosevelt and Ankeny. I assume Brody Breck, that's a player they've offered. And Gavin Williams, block punt by the Maroons! Centennial's just going to fall on it. Coming through to make that punt block. Wow, that was no doubt about it. Will Lenhart, an absolute sprint. That was a better block. We're going to see that one again. Lenhart just came right on the edge. He's there on the, I think he's second bottom on this.
On our right.
Came right up the middle. Came right up the middle and got his hand on it, and then Jackie Wells just fell on it. So now the Maroon offense comes back out at the 8:18 mark.
What you don't have is giving up a touchdown, turn around and give up a turnover back to back and put your defense against the wall.
It's Tegan Johnson's turn.
He stretches and stretches, and guess what he just does, Tim? Cuts back for a couple.
Ball carrier number 31,
Tackle made
Stephen
for
Johnson.
the Jaguars by
Man
Lucas
stop,
Pieper.
number 46, Lucas Pieper.
So now this would be the shortest drive of the game for Dowling Catholic if they can score. Best field position they've had. If you are Centennial right now, Tim, you got to just hold them to 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Dowling offense in the red zone. They bring back in Gavin Williams, kind of give him another gear. I think they want to stretch that out, try to find where that lane's going to be, do kind of a read on the running back. What you don't want to do is fall asleep watching the running back where he's going to go, and letting the quarterback run free. Now they call a timeout.
We'll step out as well.
Timeout.
Maroons in control, 21-10 here at Ankeny Stadium. Back in 30 seconds.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Another score from around the area. The Hawks of Ankeny lead Roosevelt 21-7 at half. And Waukee and Valley, and it looks like Waukee is lining up to kick a field goal, trailing 10-3, just under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter of that one. Here, we are in the third quarter as well. Centennial trails 21-10, just gave up a blocked punt.
Two-back set for Dowling.
They go Johnson with Williams as the lead blocker. Teagan can't get anywhere, gets about the 2 of 20. There's just a whole lot of mass headed that way. Jaden Cooper hunted him down.
I think the field tilted to our direction. I think both Lions came this way. We're running a two-back set, putting both Teagan and Gavin in the backfield together as a tandem. Teagan coming out. With the 3rd and long, you want to go single back set. I would doubt that they're going to pass the ball. I think, either they're going to give it to Gavin or see if they can get Himrake on an option and cutting back into the grain.
6:45, clock running. Now an empty backfield as Williams goes in motion, and it's going to be, are you kidding me, another timeout? Wow, Maroons have to take another timeout. They're going to be down to 1 with 6:42 to go in this contest. Back in 30.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Good.
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jeff.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Maroons down to 1 timeout. They do lead by 11. They do have the football at the 21-yard line, but it's a big play. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. You get a touchdown here, Tim. This absolutely puts the game in your favor. So the Maroons know they've got to get this play right. Empty backfield.
Gavin White, right.
Quarterback keeper, Himrake, not going to get it.
Quarterback number 12,
Pieper,
on the carry.
Jackie Wells. Also,
Gavin Williams lined up wide to the right, taking off, running off the corner there, and see if they can find some room for Himrake, which there wasn't there. Good pursuit by the Centennial defense, keeping it down to about a 2-yard gain.
So coming out to kick it is going to be, well, they're going to not go with Gerke. Instead, they're going to have Jake Calvert. Jake Calvert is going to come out and attempt a 35-yard field goal. Good snap, and it is a good high kick, and it is good. Maroons open up a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10. Back in a minute. High school football here on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
The whistle blows. We're back from break. The Maroons will kick it off at the 40-yard line. Now it's Jonathan Gonzalez. So Jake Calvert makes a 35-yard field goal. And it's a low bouncing kick again. A little bit of confusion there. And picking it up is D'Angelo. Makes a nice move before he gets up to the 30. Before he's tackled, Will Herman, therefore, and also Adam Brock. And Jeff Brooks down on the sideline. The head hawk is about 10 feet away from him, but that's not what you're here to talk about.
No, as much as I'd like to go visit with him, I'll give him his space. Hey, Centennial really needs to establish something here, maybe stick a score and try to get her closer here going into the fourth quarter. Let's see what they can do here on offense.
They've had a hard time playing from behind. Gibson keeps it. He was going to run. I think that was supposed to be maybe some type of play action. The leader, Chris Owsley, comes up, makes the stop, and then makes a little celebration dance. He's excited. And now he's trying to see if the rest of the Maroon defense can pin their ears back and try to keep Centennial from moving the ball forward. Loss of 4 on that play.
There's just nothing there to cut up into it. He stepped up in the pocket. There was more linemen there to stop him. There wasn't any chance for that play to develop. Dowling's going to start pinning their ears back knowing they have to pass the ball.
And that's what Centennial's going to probably have to do. Gibson, the keeper. Great move. He's got a room up the middle to the 40. First down, move the chains.
Nope, they said he had a knee down. It looks like he's going to be
short. Oh, he's going to be short. Jack Meyer, the stop. But third and very, very manageable. Gain of 12 on that play.
Now, quick hitting plays may work better against his defense than kind of a long handoff, fake handoff option.
Home crowd makes a little noise here. Loyola fumble, and that's going to be recovered by the Jags, but it's going to be a loss of 5 all the way back to the 35. Almost worst case scenario for the Jaguars. Oh, man. They had Loyola on the motion. Probably going to get his first handoff of the game. And the snap just kind of went high in the air, and he had no chance.
Yeah, second time that snap's been mishandled, either trying to get the handoff or trying to get the step onto the play. Now I'm sure they're looking at blocking down the middle for this punt.
And then that's when you bring somebody from the side, right? From the edge. Miller gets it away. Stillwell's going to chase this one down at least. He wanted to prevent it from going inside the 10. Missed on that motion. It's inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. Okay, they're going to say the 3, but still. All right, so Centennial might not have gotten the offense they wanted, but what they did do, Tim, is flip the field. But what we've seen the Maroons do, they were on their own 1-foot line and scored in 3 plays.
Yes.
So Himrick, 11 carries, 149. Gavin Williams, 12 carries, 87. Tegan Johnson, 9 carries, 70. Man, how many coaches would love to have 3 runners with averages like that?
Keegan in the backfield.
Tegan gets it left side. Shirley makes the stop.
Coming in a little bit after is Nathan Ranke. And we have a penalty flag. An initial.
Holding.
It's going to be against the Maroons. Offensive line coach Andy Pollock and Jim Williams won't like that one. Jim Williams, the longtime coach at Dowling, coached at Simpson, Iowa State. He's been back on the staff for a while. He's got a headset on there. And
First and 11.
they don't do many mic'd up segments with Jim Williams. Kind of hard to.
Offensive line coach? No, they should never mic them up.
Almost the same play, but Hemrick's going to keep it. Hank puts his head down. Gets a little bit of room up to about the 4. Jackie Wells. Logan Niels.
Good read there. Not giving him any room to cut up.
Gain of 2, second and 9.
Stopping before he cut it back against the grain. One of the better quarterbacks I've seen that could run back against the grain, find a hole, spin move. Then he's got open field, and he's got some, surprisingly, some pretty good wheels.
They've had a lot of good running quarterbacks over time. Well, I can think of one. Hemrick's going to throw down the far sideline. He's going. It's caught, but the only problem is I think Jackson was out of bounds. And he was. Incomplete. Josh Jackman caught it at about the 35, but had both feet on that white. You know, Connor Brevard was a quarterback for Dowling. Connor, went on to play
Third and 9.
and at the next level. And then Ryan Boyle went on to play at Iowa, and then he transferred to Indiana State, where he has done well in Terre Haute.
Trey Porter out playing left corner there. First time in the game I've seen him play. See if they might want to go pick on him.
Hemrick sends Teagan to his left. Gonna run it. Cut it up. Nowhere to go, but a yard, maybe 2.
Ball carrier for number 12, Hank Hemrick.
Ethan Frazier.
Made the sophomore send down number 55.
Right? Ethan Frazier? Did I get that right, Noah? Noah Yeager on spot tonight. Jeff Martin's on stats.
Surprising that they went with a pass and then a quarterback run in that series. They've had some good luck with their running backs. So big punt here. Possible punt return. Gray on the 43, 44-yard line expecting the punt return.
High but short kick. Bounces and takes a Dowling bounce of about 25 yards up to the 44. That thing bounced at maybe the 22 and took a major Dowling roll to the 44. Jeff Brooks on our sideline tonight. And Jeff, now we're playing the field position game.
They're saying that they touched it here at the 30.
Yeah, they must. I thought there was a little tick there on that, but either way. Hey, when Centennial comes back out here, keep your eye on Hayes Gibson. When he stepped on that fumble recovery, he took a little extra shot, and man, it looked like he maybe got a little bit in the head. But I hate to speculate, but see how he goes here in this drive.
All right, he's back out at quarterback wearing that number 4. He's got Tyler Johnson behind him. Now seen in on the offensive side is Nick Shirley. Play action. They're going toward downfield. They've got Shirley on the wing, swing route, incomplete. And Shirley's going to stay on the field for just a little bit longer, holding that left leg.
Is it a cramp?
Oof. Those plays have been there tonight, just like they were last week when Hayes was passing.
Coming out of the slot, out of the motion, looks like he had a wheel right out there, and he was open along the sideline there. And the nice pass by Gibson hit him right in the hands. That's twice that he's hitting a receiver, really kind of in the fingertips around the hands. And any receiving coach will say those are catchable.
Valley leads Waukee 17-3 as they're in the fourth quarter there. Here it is 24-10
Maroons on top, but the Jaguars of Centennial have the football. Swing pass, Loyola, caught at the 30 and then dropped. Gerke.
Pass complete to number 27, Mark Loyola.
The linebacker makes the place, the will.
I'm going to say this, and I don't want to, not like calling out players, but Jackson Filer, good defensive end, 6'3", 200-pound, plays aggressively. He's getting a lot of hits on the quarterback, but he's getting the hits at some point. He's about just shy of a step of roughing the passer. So we'll see if maybe the coaches on the sideline are going to call their attention to it. But Gibson stands in there, takes a shot.
Hayes back to pass, 3-step drop, then flush, and boy, it just was all out. That was an all-house blitz. Getting credit, Jalen Pettis, but man, Filer, Davis, Pearson, all on the bull rush there. 4th down all the way back to the 36-yard line. Loss of 6 on the play.
I did enough seeing him having way too much time back there getting a pass off, so put a rush on him.
They're going to try to kick a field goal? All right.
They're lining up.
Connor Page. He's already connected on one tonight. This one will be 53 yards. 53-yard attempt. The kick, it's long enough. That thing might be good, but it's off to the left.
He had
wide
the
left.
distance.
He had the distance. And so that'll be now the Maroon football there. So a little story here. Centennial used to have a kicking coach by the name of Peter Ramey, and he was the longtime Ankeny kick coach, and then on the split he went north. And now Peter Ramey is the kicking coach for Dowling Catholic. There's been a lot of good field goal kickers have played on this field over the years. You think of, you think of Cole Netton, you think of Sears. I mean, just lots of good guys have played that position. I'm sure I'm leaving out like 12 guys, but we're at 37 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
So the ball gets spotted in the 20 since it went into the end zone.
So you
like the pros.
Better off than if you would have tried to go for it and not get it. Hemrick, Williams, one guy miss. And now it's a dash down the sideline. Cut back at the 40. Gray gets him out of bounds along with Shirley and Wells. Huge pickup for Gavin Williams as he's across.
Gavin Williams.
Where are they going to mark him down at there? 40?
$1 grill
Oh, 43.
$1 grill items.
32, 23, 23-yard.
Vaughn came in there, almost had one of those stovepipe legs of Williams. Hard to bring down on a leg tackle.
Yeah. What I've heard is he has just been an animal in the weight room. And what Coach Jack does at Dowling to get them ready to play, Williams, stutter step, no good. Hard to outrun 3 guys.
Gavin Williams.
And we got a little bit of action going back here at the 32. One guy, Keaton Gray, not trying, one of the last ones up. Kind of tangling horns there with Andrew Lynch. And Gray is going to have to come off as his left thumb is bleeding. Say hello to some of Keaton's family who's watching from across the country. I know they watch it. If you got relatives from outside the area and they want to watch this game, glad to have them watching. As his father Jim is on that far sideline on the chain gang, and he knows it's okay, and he knows his son's team needs to get a couple of scores here. We're going to go to the fourth quarter. Dowling leads 24-10, the fourth when we return.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
You don't want to miss any of the action. you go, Jeff.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Dowling Catholic of West Des Moines has 24 points. Ankeny Centennial has 10. That makes the score 24-10 as we start the fourth quarter. Hank Hemrick to Gavin Williams. And Williams is hit at the 47 and goes down after 3 yards by Jaden Cooper. Cooper had to just ride for 3, and the ball is at midfield now.
We'll see that offensive line for Dowling drive blocking straight ahead, just kind of picking his holes, getting a stutter step there, kind of see which lane opens up. Where they're getting downfield, their offensive line is getting off the ball, going about 2-3 yards downfield and getting the blocks.
Williams shields one. Cooper was there first.
21, Gavin Williams on the carry.
But Williams falls forward for another couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Logan Neal
4th and short.
Shot the gap there, forcing him to take a stutter step, kind of slowing him up a little bit, let the rest of the defense get there. So see how this defense responds to a 4th and short.
Play clock at 15, plenty of time. Maroons on 4th down, their first 4th down attempt of the game. Now play clock at 5, they got to get moving. Williams, he's got the first down and then some. He's at the 40. Escapes one tackle and not another. Nathan Ranke. Keaton Gray back into the ball game now.
Talking about downfield blocks, Stillwell split end got in there, got a block on. I could tell it's the safety of the corner, which helps springs that, so when Williams goes in the inside, he bounces outside. He's got an extra lane out there. So we talked earlier about downfield blocking by the receivers, act like a second-level offensive line.
1st and 10 from the 28. Throw, caught, and still going is Stillwell. Nick Shirley, the tackle. Stillwell on the season at 12 catches, 142 yards coming in. He's one of those multi-sport athletes, a basketball starter. One of the players who didn't come out for football this year was Ryan Riggs, and he's one of those basketball guys that you'll see for Coach Michael Connor for the Maroons. Would have been a good tall threat. Maybe he's one of those that comes back out of senior year, but right now he's going to focus on basketball, and they just worry about next guy in for the Maroons, and they find somebody in Matt Stillwell. Williams. A hop, skip, and a jump, and he's going to step out.
21, Gavin Williams on the carry.
Shirley makes the tackle.
I was going to mention Nick Shirley, not a real big guy. I mean, he's still 180. Has no fear. I've seen him dive in there, making tackles. So he's been flying around the field too.
9:53. Now this is something we haven't seen much out of the Maroons. Maybe about 4 times where they have gotten up to the line and then checked off into something else. Williams. Met 2 black shirts, Jackie Wells and Lucas Pieper. Lucas had the injury, and I was kind of asking Coach Pizzetti earlier this week. I said, how's Lucas doing? He says, he needed to get his confidence back from that injury. Just didn't feel that, can I play? Am I okay? And I don't think Williams has had any issues, any confidence. I think maybe in the first quarter he looked a little rusty.
Yeah, he's had some big runs. He's also had some kind of stutter step, little tentative hitting the hole. His timing is not quite there yet.
Williams, handoff right side. Gets a block from Stillwell for a moment. Keaton Gray up for the tackle.
21 on the carry.
Also Desmond Vaughn.
So 24, Desmond Vaughn is a guy that Jeff might want to talk to. We're going to have to figure out.
He has to catch him first.
It's got to catch. Yeah, good luck with that.
3rd and short. I watched the quarterback here.
Maroons have to get inside the 10 to about the 8. Johnson goes forward.
Ball carried by 31, Keegan Johnson.
Jaden Cooper, the tackle. That's enough to move the chains.
On the stop for the Jags, number 24, Desmond Vaughn, number 35, Jaden Cooper.
So Keegan in the backfield does look out for the quarterback, taking that read dive. But Tegan's been kind of a big scorer for them all with the first 3 games.
th play of the drive. Tegan Johnson right side. He'll be short. This drive started all the way back on the 20-yard line.
On the stop, number 54, Jackie Wells.
They had brought in Zach Schwager, the fullback. H-back comes in. It's like now they go using a 4-receiver set, split receivers. Single tailback. Gavin.
Second and goal, ball is to the 5-yard line.
Tegan Johnson had carries of more than 30 different carries during last week's game. Hank Hemrick cuts back up towards the goal line. He's going to be short.
Hank Hemrick.
Nathan Ranke, the tackle. Henrik tonight, 13 carries. Williams, 20 carries. Johnson only 11, but man, 158 for Hemrick, 75 for Johnson, 150 for Gavin Williams. 1 yard to go here. 3rd and goal, 7:15 on the clock. Hemrick, touchdown, 3rd of the game for Hank.
Touchdown, Dowling Catholic, 1-yard touchdown run, number 12, Hank Hemrick.
Hank has had an incredible contest. 30-10 now, Maroons in control.
They do attempt the point after number 18, Jake Calvert.
Jake Calvert's extra point is up and good. Maroons lead 31-10. 7:04 to play at Ankeny Stadium.
High quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill, we deliver delicious.
Maroons on top 31-10. Down at Drake Stadium. Ankeny Hawks lead Roosevelt 28-7. Ankeny gets to play Dowling next week.
Not a game to sleep on next week.
No.
Ankeny and Dowling.
That game last year kind of got away from the Hawks. I'll tell you what, this Dowling team, once they get back Louis Brooks, and they have a consistent threat on the outside. They're going to be a hard hand to hold. All right, Jeff Brooks, the Centennial offense, 121 total yards of offense. What do you think they're going to do? Run? Throw?
Well, I don't think they have much choice. They'll occasionally maybe run the ball, but they got to put the ball in the air. You know, Gibson's a good quarterback. Receivers have just dropped the ball tonight, so they'll continue to chuck it here.
1st and 10 from the 20. Here comes the blitz. Gibson shields one. He is not going to get the other.
Gibson is thrown for a loss.
Christian Owsley. I got to give you the drive summary from that last drive for the Maroons. 13 plays, 80 yards, consumed 5:33 on the clock, 31-10. And Dowling has scored on almost every drive since the second quarter. One form or fashion, or at least had a chance to score. They had a missed field goal in there. Gibson's going to keep it, and then, boy, all of a sudden, there is just a whole nother gear this Maroon defense has.
Like a jailbreak there. It's hard when you're down like that. They know you have to pass. They're just going to pin their ears back because they don't have to worry about run containment. That was slowing them down in the first half. They kept checking for the run, giving Gibson some time to step back there and get a pass. But here, they're just peeling off and going, which is very hard for the lineman to block. They're getting teed off on.
Pearson and Owsley combine for the Maroons. Quickly, 3rd down, 19 yards to go for the Jags.
Clock.
Gibson with time, throws across the middle, dropped. Johnson had it hit in his hands. Owsley was there. I'll tell you what, Coach Wilson had said, he goes, he is our defensive leader. I'm like, oh, sure. You're just being nice. No, he's right. He's been everywhere.
He is. He fires them up. He runs. He's been blitzing. He's been shadowing the quarterback. He's making tackles downfield. So he's one of their better players.
And Centennial is going to line up to punt the football here. 4th and 19. Miller is in 3 yards deep into his end zone. Short kick. This one is going to go out of bounds. But maybe it could be at about the 20, maybe.
22, 20, yes.
20. Really short field for the Maroons here.
Flag down. Up here at the 45-yard line. Not sure if there's a block downfield after the kick.
Brad Bunting, our official tonight. Jason Higgins, Casey Farley.
Preliminary signal. Personal foul. Hands to the face against Ankeny.
Hands to the face against Centennial. So this one will even go further down the field. It's a 10-yard penalty. Now, how many times do you start an offensive series at the 10-yard line? So you go with an 80-yard drive on the last play. Now a 10-yard field for the Maroons.
Schwager coming in at their H-back, blocking back.
And they give it to Schwargert. He pinballs in to about the 5.
Ball carrier number 24, Case Hoshill.
Case Hauschilt gets the carry.
Another senior running back.
Approaching 5 minutes, and some of the crowd starting to head out here. On the Centennial side, they'd seen enough, but fans still want to hang around here and see what happens.
Might see an option. See Himmer keep it.
Handoff up the middle. Hauschilt inside the 5, down to about the 2.
Chase Hauschild. At the bottom of call number 33, Logan Niels.
Senior running back, they want to give it to him again. See if they get a touchdown for him. I'd be following your 6 foot, 190 pound fullback.
Hauschild up the middle, short. Ethan Frazier, the tackle in there. It'll be 4th and goal.
Good job by Wells in there, getting in there, making some penetration, stopping him for no gain. Defensive line putting up a good fight, even though the score is not indicative of how close the game really was.
Yeah.
Coming into the third quarter.
If you're Dowling, do you go for it here? And if you don't get it, you just pin them back inside the 5?
Run the clock. They use your last time out, kick a field goal. But they're gonna run it here.
They're going to run more time off the clock. 5 seconds yet to go. Hauschild cuts back and short, I think. He is. He's going to be short.
Ball carrier number 24.
The good news, you stopped, and the bad news, your offense has the ball on the 1 foot line. But no, good defense. The defense sticking in there, not wanting to give up a score late in the game. Fighting that they had the ball. They gave the ball on the 10-yard line.
Jackson
so good job
Huber
with defense.
Prevented that touchdown. You're right. You're absolutely right, Tim. And congratulations. You get the ball back at the 1. Yeah. And the Jaguars will bring out their first team offense, Hayes Gibson and company. 99 yards to go.
Erwin out.
Loyola, round left side, gets up towards the 10.
On the carry, number 27,
Will Lenhart.
Stop for Dowling Catholic by number 34, Jack Meyer.
Good quick hitter there.
First down, ball rests at the 10-yard line.
Nick Wilkinson getting a little time there on the left side. They go right where he was, and the tackle, Jack Meyer. Ball up towards the 20. We're going to put him back at the 18. Loyola comes out.
Austin Jones comes in.
Jones the handoff. Fake. They go Johnson the other way. He's got the first down. 30. Knocked out of bounds in front of his own bench. Nyante Gerke. Also Jackson Langan. Approaching 2 minutes now. Ball up to the 33. 400 yards of offense for the Maroons today. 31 yards of offense on this drive for Centennial, one of their best of the second half. They go downfield. D'Angelo off. He was looking to the left, had not looked back to the right.
Pass intended for number 13, Dylan D'Angelo.
They've tried to go to Dylan a couple of times. 2 minutes left. Centennial next week will go to Marshalltown.
Ubeliza wide to the left.
Shirley in motion. They give it to Nick. Cut back. Ooh, good hit.
On the carry for the Jaguars, number 1, Nick Shirley.
Carson Boyle. The stop. 3rd down.
5 seconds time. 35.
90 seconds left. Go ahead, Tim.
So they can find something short crossing across the middle.
Oof, Johnson nowhere to go.
On the carry.
Man, nice stop. Theo Davis, the tackle. He's another one of those defensive leaders. Haven't said much about him tonight, but it has been hard sledding up the middle. We really only saw a lot of cutbacks.
Lane integrity is what they call in defense, and you get tired there. But once they got the lead, they were able to kind of tee off in there and let their linebackers kind of roam free. Fourth down play here with 47 seconds.
Give to Johnson. And he is stopped at the 40, well short of the first down. Penalty flag out. I think Nyante Gurke made the tackle.
A little bit of a Wilkinson and Peterson have a little bit of a blocking match there at the end.
The officials will sort this one out. 37 seconds left.
Usually it's the second player that just kind of shoves an arm out there, getting someone off that usually gets called for the penalty.
Yep, and actually they got them both. Unsportsmanlike offsetting, so it'll be Dowling football. And if they take too many knees here, this might keep them under 400. They've got 6 yards to play with. 393 yards rushing. What a night.
Jake Steengraber, or Graber, backup quarterback coming in.
The backup quarterback at Dowling's had a lot of action over the last few years when they've been up big in many of those games. Ooh, handoff and then nowhere to go. Chase Hauschild. And a timeout. Or we at least have to stop the clock for a minute. Gray's helmet came off. 30 seconds left.
They have to run one play. They will see Hauschild with the ball, I would guess.
Carter gets it. Gets back near the line of scrimmage. Jackie Wells and Jalen Pettis. I'm sorry. Ethan Frazier there. And that is going to do it. 31-10 is your final score. Dowling Catholic improves to 3-1. Centennial, first loss of the year, falls to 3-1. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll have some post game. Get you ready for next week as we wrap things up here from Ankeny Stadium. Back after this on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here.
Hey,
welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
Go.
Welcome back to Ankeny Stadium. Let's go down to the field. Jeff Brooks with our first post-game interview. Jeff?
Hey, I'm here with Desmond Vaughn. Desmond, hey, you had an awesome game. Tough loss tonight, but tell me about what you saw, especially first half. That was an awesome first half.
I think we played well. They were a good opponent, but they just got the best of us tonight. And, yeah, we had a good game, though. I was proud of my team.
So you guys have had a great run this year so far. Lots of football to come. What learning opportunities do you take from this game?
I say we just take this game and learn from it. We got a lot of work to put in. Season goes on. We're going to benefit from this, I believe. Yeah.
All right. How'd it feel blocking that punt?
It felt good. I've been getting close to them all year, and I finally got that one, and it felt really good, yeah.
So you take the punt block or the interception?
That interception, pick 6, I thought. But, hey, punt block felt good, too. They're both great.
All right. Have a great rest of your season, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Jeff Brooks, down on the sideline with the Centennial player, and we'll try to track down a couple of those Maroons as Dowling tonight with 404 yards of total offense, 13 of it passing. So math tells you 391 rushing. Impressive contest there for the Maroons on that offensive front. And, it was a squad that it was a slow go there for a little while. That was a first half that took the Mighty Maroons a little bit time to go. Centennial started out well, balanced approach, 68 yards passing, 82 yards rushing, 150 total, one of their lowest outputs in quite some time. But the Maroons, they know how to get rolling once it starts going. And there is a reason they have won the state title 6 years in a row. And it is just the next man in. As the Maroons go through some of their traditions where they had given 5 to all the other players, and now they're giving it to each other as the coaching staff goes. And one of those key players for Dowling Catholic tonight is with Jeff Brooks.
Yeah, I'm here with Hank Hemrick. Hank, boy, what an awesome game. 3 touchdowns tonight. How about that?
15 carries, 159,
So
Jeff.
they're telling me 15 carries, 159 tonight for you.
Yeah, I think my O-line, they gave me a ton of good holes, and I just give all the credit to them. They did all the hard work for me.
So earlier in the game, I was calling you Captain Cutback. So tell me about that long cutback run you had for your 86-yard touchdown, I think it was.
No, I just had a huge hole, and we just practiced it. I think our coaches, they taught me that move. So, yeah, I just thank my coaches, my linemen for giving me that hole, and just trust my instincts there.
So what's it like having a two-headed monster back there at running back? You got Gavin back tonight. He went for 150. Johnson was awesome back there as well, had a lot of yards, a lot of carries, big touchdown early in the game.
Yeah, they're amazing. They put a ton of hard work in there. I just love those guys. They're just great people.
So back here on this field next weekend versus Ankeny Hawks. What do you think about coming back here next week?
No, we just got to do the day-to-day grind and just keep focusing on us and get the job done.
All right, man. Good luck.
All right, thank you, Jeff Brooks with Hank Hemrick. Think about this, Jeff, or Tim, as Jeff was talking with Hank, he's talking about Johnson and he's talking about Williams. And just think, it wasn't either of those guys that it was the leading rusher for the Maroons tonight. It was the quarterback, Hank Hemrick.
Just like we predicted, right? We knew that all along that was going to happen. No, I always thought that, Hemrick has been a decent quarterback, has better stats than what Gibson has that comes in here. Really didn't only had about 2 completions for the game for 13 yards, but the legs. You could tell that the coaches have worked on that. He's got some great field vision and led the team. And we talked about which quarterback was going to step up and play like a big-time quarterback, and Hemrick did that. Hank had a great job as senior leadership, and then it's easy to hand the ball off, but he made some big impact plays that kind of broke the back.
He did, and 3 touchdowns for Hank, 159 yards rushing. Gavin Williams, 20 carries in his first game back since last November when he was a Southeast Polk Ram. Williams gets hurt in camp right as they turn to fall official practice after their off-season work, and they had that luxury because of Tegan Johnson, and that Centennial was kind of counting and keying on him, knowing that he could pop off. But here's the thing, Tim, next week, this stadium, if you're coming back out, you get to see these Maroons again. It'll be a different style of offense. It'll be some different type of athletes, and it'll be a different type of game.
Yes, and once again, it'd be a good defense, for Ankeny, the Hawks next week. And, they play a very stout, that 3-4 defense in there. They gave Cedar Falls fits a week ago. But now you have this, they look at the stats thinking, boy, did Gavin Williams just run crazy on Centennial? But no, it was the quarterback. So now you got this three-headed monster back there that all can run, all do a great job. That offensive line kind of found their footing in the second half and created some holes. They knew where their blocks are going to be. The receivers are getting downfield blocks, causing these 5-yard runs to become 10 and 15 and larger runs for touchdowns.
Centennial scores 1 touchdown and 1 field goal. Tyler Johnson, 13 carries, 57 yards. Hayes Gibson, 14 carries, 8 yards. Started out the game well with a pass, but finished the game 3 for 11 for 68 yards. Just not quite. A couple of drops and some key spots there. But the Jags move on. They'll be at Marshalltown next week. Dowling will be here with Ankeny. We'll be back on the air at 6:30. Tim, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes. Have a good
All
weekend.
Right, enjoy. And for Devin Taylor, Reese Webb, Jay Provenzano, Parker Johnson, Jeff Martins, Noah Yeager, Jeff Brooks, Tim Halber, I'm Paul Yeager. Thank you so much for watching tonight on CISN.TV, where again the Maroons improved to 3-1 with a 31-10 win over Centennial.